situations again, because I might be tempted. Always get me into these situations again, because I might be tempted. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything but me. But me. Can I make something good out of this? Can I make something good out of this? Chances are you will not be missed, 'cause you don't give a shit. Can I make something good out of this? You could be late, you could be true, you could be underneath my shoe. Sometimes you're the only one who's strong, then I'll be devastated if I'm wrong. I am the one you love to hate, but you cannot devastate. It will be interesting, I'm sure, 'cause I want more. Can I make something good out of this? Can I pretend that something is missing? Chances are you will not be missed, 'cause you don't give a shit. Can I make something good out of this?
Yo, 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 let's go.
You could be underneath my shoe. Sometimes you're the only one who's strong.
Let's go.
And I'll be devastated if I'm wrong.
Elite, let's go, baby.
Love to hate, but you cannot
Devastate,
It will be interesting,
I'm sure.
but I want more.
Yo, 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 yo. Dude, let's go. It's been good, Elite. You could be late, you could be true, you could be underneath my shoe.
Sometimes you're the only one who's strong, and I'll be devastated
If I'm wrong,
I am the one you
love to hate, but you cannot devastate. It will be interesting, I'm sure.
'cause I want more. I
I want more. I want more. I am more. I want more. I want more. 𝗙𝗍𝗃𝗧𝗓. I want more from you, yeah, more.
I want more. I want more. I want more from you, yeah. More. More. More from you, yeah. More. More. I want more from you, yeah.
I want more. I want more. I want more. I want more. Let's go. Oh, yeah. How we doing on a fucking Thursday night, baby? Oh, yeah. Dude, we just saw Superman. That shit was good, bro. Dude, Donald J. Trump, he says he's gonna sue the Wall Street Journal. I say, let's see it, Trumpy. Oh, come on, Trumpy. Oh. Paint away.
Day and night, 6 hearts of I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then.
If you dare.
Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them nothing
Is what I say, I feel far away. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's go. Dude, how we doing, guys? Thursday night. Dude, we just saw Superman. It's so funny because I know, like, my kid pointed out that Tim Pool gave Superman an 8 out of 10 and was like, nothing political about that movie at all. But, like, dude, that movie was like the wokest movie ever. Right? With, like, pretty direct commentary on fucking, you know, the Israel-Palestine scenario. Why is Trump suing the Wall Street Journal? So first off, Trump is not suing the Wall Street Journal. I mean, he's made threats about it. I hope he does, right? He is fucking scrambling, but it's because of the letter. We're going to look at the article real quick. It's because of this right here. This was their big, the Wall Street Journal's big scoop that dropped today that Trump is not happy about. Yeah, see, now this is a common theme with Trump, with this fucker, is to the threat of, like, suing. Okay, this is Trump's, like, common bully tactic. Oh, I'm gonna sue you. Oh, I'm gonna sue you. Right? He did it with these networks, you know, with ABC and CBS. And of course, they know that he could make their life hell with the broadcast license. So they all capitulated to him. But yeah, this one he's not going to escape. Okay? He's not going to escape this one. Now, you may have seen he did call for the grand jury transcripts to be released, which is really, that's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, I don't think this scandal's going away, right? That's his buddy Rupert, though. Yeah. I mean, the Wall Street Journal's had pretty fair, has had pretty fair coverage. But yeah, let's look at this, shall we? Hold on, let's get into this, right? This is, yeah. Well, so, I mean, obviously, guys, we know something is up, okay? We know it's up because we know for a fact that they all campaigned on releasing these Epstein documents. It was a huge deal. It was a ginormous thing about them. And then they talked about it We've got the documents there. It's on my desk is what Pam Bondi said about the list, yada, yada, yada. Then they said none of it exists. Whoopsie, case closed. There isn't even a list. Sorry, it's just a bunch of 𝗙cie videos. Then Trump said, Obama wrote it, Comey wrote it, and everyone is like, what the fuck are they doing, dude? Trump is just flailing around. They are so all over the map. But here's what we do know is either Donald Trump is all over that shit, or he's not in it and he's protecting whoever is in it. Okay, both of those, I think, fucking tank Trump. I personally, in fact, you ready, guys? I think it's even worse for him if he's not in the files, because then he's protecting all of the elite fuckers that are in the files. And I think that would actually be worse, because I honestly don't think MAGA would care if they find out that Trump raped young girls. I don't think they would care. I shit you not. I think MAGA is so far gone with this that even if they caught him, you know, sexually abusing teenage girls, they would refuse to believe it, even if they walked in on it. You know what I'm saying? So I think regardless, this harms him, right? He's definitely on it. Oh, I know he's on it. I know he's in there. But let's look at this article, and then we'll look at some internet reaction. It says, Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him a body letter. So Jeffrey Epstein's friends sent him body letters for a 50th birthday album. One was from Donald Trump. So let's put this in perspective. Let's find out how, so 53, 50 years. So dude, pendulous, let's go, baby. So this is 2003, his 50th birthday. This is 2003. This is before he got arrested then. Okay. Okay. It's before he got arrested. Right. And so this was before his arrest. This was after. You've seen the video, guys. Okay. You've seen the video, right? Of Trump and Epstein. Let me remind you guys. Good to see you, Pendulous. So this video, where is it? You've seen this video. Right? You've seen the video that has this image, right? Remember this image? It's from like an Inside Edition where Epstein comes into Trump's party and they're all talking shit, whatever. So this is in the 90s. So the letter we're about to read happened after this, but before Epstein got arrested. He first got arrested, I believe, in 2007. His first arrest was in 2005 is when they began investigating him. And in 2006 is 2008 is when they made that deal with him. So this is 2 years before they started investigating. Okay. All right. So yeah, just to put it on the timeline so you know where this is. The leather-bound book was compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell. The president says the letter is a fake thing. So there's a photo of these two guys all chummy. We know that Trump and Epstein were really close friends. Trump, just for the record, Trump didn't have any friends. Okay? He didn't. Trump has never really had any friends because he's transactional and just sort of gnarly, and you know, nobody ever really liked him. So I do, you know what I'm saying? He was transactional, nobody ever really liked him. But Epstein, though, was another guy who didn't really have any friends. So I think that is why these guys, right? That is why these guys were fast friends, okay? Because they were two guys that were transactional degenerates that were friendless, but they definitely shared a fucking love of taking power over people, right? You know what I'm saying? Both of these guys were very into taking power over people, and they were sort of peas of the pod. Okay, so here's what we got. It was Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, and Ghislaine Maxwell was preparing a special gift to mark the occasion. She turned to Epstein's family and friends. One of them was Donald Trump. Maxwell collected letters from Trump and dozens of Epstein's other associates for a 2003 birthday album, according to documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. So the Wall Street Journal presumably saw this album, okay? Pages from the leather-bound album assembled before Epstein was first arrested in 2006 are among the documents examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago, according to people who have reviewed the pages. It's unclear if any of the pages are part of the Trump administration's recent review. Okay, so this is super interesting here, right? That like I'm presuming they saw the album, or if not, they saw images of it. Midas feels like a DNC op. So let me just tell you about Midas, guys. So Midas is they're doing good work. Okay, they are doing good work, but Midas though is centrist establishment. You know what I mean? Like they support a lot of leftist stuff. I believe there are some leftist fucking like people with leftist political views involved with Midas Touch, but they are there to support the Democratic Party. Okay, you are never going to see them critical of the Democratic Party. They will also support, Zora Mamdani, and they will support, far left ideals, but they are never going to be critical of the Democratic Party. They are centrist, mainstream establishment Democrats. And I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with that. I realize not everybody's going to be far left. They're not progressive themselves. They're not. I mean, some of them are more progressive than others, I think. You know what I'm saying? I think some of them are more progressive than others for sure, right? It depends on the people. But as a unit, guys, they are there to support the Democratic Party. And you know what I'm saying? They are. They absolutely are. So they don't use, you're not going to go there and find them like digging deep into trans issues. They are going to stick to supporting the Democratic candidates and being a mouthpiece in the independent media for Democratic candidates to speak. But they're not going to go hard on trans issues. They will mention it. They're just not going to go hard on it, right? They're not going to go hard on, too much, I think, anything civil rights, unless it's like centrist, okay? They are very centrist civil rights. I've been a little personally disappointed in the way they cover trans issues, because I feel like they're like, some of them defend it in individual things, but they don't fucking go like full board. But here's what I would like to say, guys. Okay. What I would like to say about a thing about Midas Touch is this, is you have to look at them as for what they are useful for. They are a very large mouthpiece that is anti-Republican, that will give people real facts. They're not going to make shit up. Okay. So they're not going to cover more of the hot button issues, but for middle of the road voters, they are going to reliably be anti-Republican and give people true information. And so I think that that's very useful. Okay. Now the thing about it is though, is the reality is they have a larger reach by being in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes, you know, you're obviously not going to get all your information in one place, right? You know what I mean? But you know, I think we're better off having them than not having them, for sure. Now, again, though, a lot of leftists get mad at me because I don't hate on the Democratic Party like a lot of leftists do. Like somebody in Discord tonight mentioned something about Zohran Mamdani taking a photo with some Democrats, other Democrats from New York, that this person in the Discord called them Zionist and all this other shit, like the Democrats. But like, here's the thing though. You ready? If Zohran Mamdani, all right, follow my reasoning on this, guys, is we do need to have an understanding of how politics works. If Zohran Mamdani wants to get into New York City mayor and he wants to accomplish the shit that he wants to accomplish, he needs every Democrat in that city on his side, okay? He needs to make a coalition with every fucking Democrat and maybe even a whole bunch of people that aren't Democrats, right? He's got to represent the entire city, but he can't go in there telling half of the Democratic Party to go fuck themselves and accomplish anything as mayor. It just doesn't work like that, right? Like you can hate the Democratic Party, but if you're going to compete in American politics right now as a leftist, you need the Democratic Party, right? And if you want to accomplish shit, you know what I'm saying? But so the thing about that though, the husk is when you say, or create a cult of personality powerful enough to power through, but that's what Trump did, Husk, is Trump did what you're saying. He created a cult of personality powerful enough to control the whole party, but you don't want that. You don't want some Dem coming in as I am the savior renegade leftist, and now this party is mine, and everybody's going to do what I say. You don't want that, right? That's what Trump did. It doesn't fucking work. It creates somebody who's like damaging the party. Like the Republican Party after Trump is gone is going to be a fucking shambles. Okay? We're going to see that 10, 12 years from now. That party's going to be a mess. We don't want that. We definitely want to have coalition builders. I think there's a place for centrist Democrats. You know why? Because the reality is in some places in America, right? A Republican will win the seat, but a centrist Democrat can win a Republican seat, okay? A leftist Democrat cannot yet win a Republican seat. Like Zohran Mamdani can win the mayor in New York City, but he would not win a Senate seat in Missouri. Not even close. He would get fucking buried, right? But somebody like 𝗙𝗚liche, as fucking annoying as she is, and I kind of can't stand her, she could win a Senate seat in Missouri. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And yeah, Natalie, I agree with what you're saying right there. You make a really good point. You can meet with people that are like different than you if you don't abandon your principles, right? Because the point is like Zohran Mamdani is like, he wants to be able to like work with Zionists to where the Zionism wanes, right? He doesn't want to like just create more war, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? So like, we have to remember that. And I'm guilty of this too, guys, because I see people like 𝗙𝗚liche or I see these middle of the road fucking Democrats and I get so mad at them, right? I get so mad because I hate them, but then I also remember that I'd rather have them than a Republican, right? I'd rather have 𝗙𝗚liche be the senator of Michigan than a Republican. What I don't want, though, I don't want 𝗙𝗚liche to become the center of the Democratic agenda. That's where I get sort of like, worked up about is I'm fine with centrist Democrats, but I don't want them being the center of our fucking agenda. You know what I mean? SK, let's go. But I think this is one of the things that's hard about like the leftists in America that we do have to sort out. And I'm a leftist too. You voted for 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪𝗀. Hey man, Pendulous, that was a good vote, bro. Because the other option was not good. So, I mean, I'd rather have you vote for 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪 and be mad at her than to have not voted for her, right? It's like, don't hate yourself for that, boss. That was the only vote you could make. Now, again, guys, though, you ready? Here's the thing. You ready, guys? I believe, though, if we can get super PACs out of the primaries, there's going to be a rise in leftist people's candidates. So I believe that should be our number one priority, okay? If you guys want to do something useful, start writing to the Democratic Committee, the DNC, start contacting your legislators and tell them that you want super PACs out of the primaries, okay? And that would be really good because we do need more leftist candidates. And the reason why there's not more leftist candidates is they don't fucking win, right? Which makes me sad because unfortunately a lot of America is programmed to think socialism for the rich is great and socialism for the poor is dangerous. You know, I mean, we actually believe it. Dude, I have seen people that are fucking piss poor and they will argue for a billionaire to be able to keep his fucking wealth tax free. And I'm like, God damn, like, are you dumb? Like, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? You're literally the reason why you have no money and the reason why you can't buy a house is because of those people, right? Like, what the fuck, bro? You know what I mean? Like, what? What? It's crazy, dude. Yeah, man. You're not wrong, Husk. That is the scam. But again, if we can get super PACs out of the primaries, we're going to see more of the people's candidates. Okay? We absolutely will. Sorry, I thought I had an ant crawling on me, but it was a false alarm. All right, you ready? Let's get back to the Epstein letter, though. Here we go. So we're getting into this. Here we go, baby. It was Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, and Ghislaine Maxwell was preparing a special gift to mark the occasion. She turned to Epstein's family and friends. One of them was Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump. Trumpy. Fuck you, Trumpy. All right. So pages from the leather-bound album assembled before Epstein was first arrested in 2006 are among the documents examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago. According to people who have reviewed the pages, it is unclear if any of the pages are part of the Trump administration's recent review. Okay, so we don't know what Trump and Bondi and everybody at the FBI saw that made them get gun shy. Obviously, they ran into some shit that made them get very gun shy. We don't know what it is. They were hot and heavy. You know what I'm saying? They were hot and heavy, gonna get fucking everybody, gonna get that stuff out. And then they saw some shit. And then all of a sudden they're like, whoopsie, nothing to see here. So we don't know what they saw. The president's past relationship with Epstein is at a sensitive moment. The Justice Department's documents, the so-called Epstein files, and who or what is in them are at the center of a storm consuming the Trump administration. On Wednesday, after angry comments about how the files are a hoax created by Democrats, President Trump lashed out at his own supporters for refusing to let the matter go. The letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy. So they did see the letter. They did see the letter, okay? Like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. Huh. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? It's hand-drawn with a heavy marker. That sounds a little bit on brand, doesn't it? Right? A pair of small arcs denote the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking her pubic hair. That sounds right on brand, doesn't it? The letter concludes, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Ooh, brutal. Yes, like a Sharpie grumpy cat. And with the Donald's name as the pubic hair. May every day be another wonderful secret. That's pretty damning, right? In an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. "This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story," he said. "I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women," he said. "It's not my language. It's not my words." He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it's published in an article. Well, it's published, Trumpy. Bring on that lawsuit there, little buddy. Right? I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else, he said. Allegations that Epstein had been sexually abusing girls became public in 2006, and he was arrested that year. Epstein died in 2019 in jail after he was arrested a second time and charged with sex trafficking conspiracy. Justice Department officials didn't respond to requests for comment or address questions about whether the Trump page and the other pages of the birthday album were part of the agency's recent documents review. The FBI declined to comment. The existence of the album and the contents of the birthday letters haven't previously been reported. The album had poems, photos, and greetings from business people, academics, Epstein's former girlfriends, and childhood pals, according to the documents reviewed by the Journal and people familiar with them. Among those who submitted letters were billionaire Leslie Wexner and attorney Alan Dershowitz. The album also contained a letter from the now deceased Harvard economist, one of Epstein's. The album also contained a letter from a now deceased Harvard economist, one of Epstein's report cards from Mark Twain Junior High School in Brooklyn, and a note from a former assistant that included an acrostic with Epstein's name, 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗪. Everyone loves you. Fun in the sun. Fun just for fun. Remember, don't forget me soon. Epstein, you rock. You are the best. All right. Oh, look at that. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪. Epstein was Wexner's money manager at the time. So Wexner was how Epstein sort of got big, right? It was managing Wexner's money that first sort of launched him into that billionaire set. Okay, the longtime leader of Victoria's Secret wrote a short message that said, "I wanted to get you what you want, so here it is." After the text was a line drawing of what appeared to be a woman's breasts. Wexner declined to comment through a spokesman. Wexner's spokesman previously told the Journal that the retail mogul severed all ties with Epstein in 2007 and never spoke with him again. So again, guys, everybody here is like drawing naked women for Jeffrey Epstein, and there's a reason why, this, it's pretty obvious that everybody is super connected. You know what I mean? They're connected to what he did. Everybody knew what fucking was going on with this guy. This guy was not pulling any punches. All right. Dershowitz's letter included a mock-up of a Vanity Unfair magazine cover with mock headlines such as, "Who was Jack the Ripper? Was it Jeffrey Epstein?" He joked that he had convinced the magazine to change the focus of an article from Epstein to Bill Clinton. Dershowitz, who represented Epstein after his first arrest, said, "It's been a long time, and I don't recall the content of what I may have written." So there you go, dude. So Dershowitz Dershowitz confirmed that this thing existed. You see that? Both Dershowitz and Wexner, they, by not denying their participation in this, they confirm that this thing exists. All right? Dude, Dershowitz, Trump's own crony, just confirmed that this thing actually exists because he's like, I don't know what I wrote. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, the noose tightens, bro. Oh, Lordy. All right. The book was put together by a New York City bookbinder, Herbert Weitz, according to people who were involved in the process. Weitz, who died in 2020, listed Epstein as a client on his website in 2003. It isn't clear how the letter with Trump's signature was prepared. Inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein, written in the third person. Now, this is really interesting, okay? That it's written in the third person. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that fucking interesting? Right? Dude, 𝗙𝗪𝗪, I don't know what your deal is, boss, but like, here's the deal, boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to allow just open fucking disparaging. Like, if every message you say in my chat is going to be some anti-Zionist or anti some group of people, we're not going to flow like that, boss. Okay? I'm not here to have a chat filled with fucking disparaging hate remarks about like various groups of people. You know, if you want to dish on MAGA and Trump, we're fine. This is an anti-MAGA stream. It's sort of the center of like American policy. Now, I'm not going to disagree with you that like obviously there are some fucking Zionists that are extraordinarily harmful people. Okay? You know what I'm saying? As there are in any collective, evangelicals, fucking, right? There are harmful people of all stripes. But I don't want my chat to just be somebody sitting there like saying nasty shit about fucking, you know, about groups of people like that. If you could just kind of like chill on that. That's not really, this isn't really the spot for that. That feels like it's more like Hassan's chat, right? You can go there and go off on that shit. You know what I mean? It's not really my vibe, all right? Appreciate you, though. But dude, most of the American government is into that, guys. All the evangelicals are. But anyway, so yes, I think the thing that it's in the third person is really an important detail because Trump uses the third person, okay? He does. We see him all the time. He talks about, yeah, everybody's out to get Trump. Everybody's out to get Trump, right? He's a very fond of the third person and has often used the third person to respond to himself. Yeah, no, exactly, Canal. I don't really like the group hate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, 𝗙𝗪𝗪, I get you, boss. I get you. Like, I get it. I know that shit is fucking burning you up. And it should be. Right? We're obviously getting fucked around by some really big powers that be, right? But I encourage you though to find some fucking good outlet for that. Like honestly, 𝗙𝗪𝗪, you ready? If you are in America, I think you should run for office, boss. Okay? I think if you're an American who is like anti-Zionism and you are like really pro-Palestinian, I think you need to run for Congress. I shit you not. Even if you lose, you need to run and become a part of the conversation. We need a lot of people like that to fucking run. You know what I'm saying? Well, so Darian, the thing about it is this, is it is okay to acknowledge that some aspects of Zionism are bad, right? You know what I'm saying? But there's like everything. There are people that are degrees of Zionism. And the extreme people are bad, just like the extreme evangelicals are bad. But there are also, I'm sure, people who are just a little bit Zionist, right? That aren't like totally imperialist and filled with all the hate, but they also have like some measure because things are not binary on and off. Everything's a gradation. So I don't like the idea of lumping everybody who supports the state of Israel as like Zionists in this Netanyahu type term, right? That's like referring to every black person as, you know, a couple black people that you don't like, or a segment of black society that you don't like, right? And what's more, though, is I think that we're not talking about that right now. So, like, if you're sitting there discussing something really intense that nobody's talking about, you know, I think you should sort of like, you know, like sort of take stock. But yeah, no, 𝗪𝗪, I get it, bro. There's just a lot of that energy right now. You know, there's a lot of like, and so like my thing is I want to try to have constructive uses of the hate. But right now, what's really crazy about it is that, you know, you can be a supporter of the US government and not be MAGA, right? And you know what I'm saying? And so even if you were to look in the Israeli government, there are some people in the Israeli government that are probably trying to tone Netanyahu down. You know what I mean? And like, so it's like, I think like lumping everybody into one term like that is just really dangerous, you know, because like not every Israel supporter is a Zionist and not every Palestinian is Hamas. And, you know, and I think it would behoove us all to remember that, but that there's so much death in the Middle East that's really like, they're going through a lot, man. The polarization there is like, feels like it's even crazier than here in America. But anyway, all right, back to the letter. Written in the third person is really an important detail here, guys. Okay, so let's look at this imaginary conversation. It says, voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything, the note began. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Okay, now this is really interesting, right? Because I know people, I've seen people online saying, you know what? This doesn't sound like Donald Trump's like voice, but it kind of does, okay? Because what's interesting is this doesn't sound like Donald Trump now, but you got to remember this was 23 years ago. And it sounds like he was writing it in sort of hoity-toity kind of language, right? Or he may have even had somebody else write it. But it feels like it's a fake play on a conversation if they were talking all high society, which both of these guys ran in circles that were high society, but they were outcasts. You know what I'm saying? And so this feels like really, I don't know, it feels very authentic, okay? Jeffrey enjoys his social life. When he turned 50, Epstein was already wealthy from managing Wexner's fortune and was socializing with Trump, Clinton, and other powerful people. He often entertained at his Manhattan townhouse, Palm Beach, Florida home, and private Caribbean island. A spokesperson for Clinton referred to 2019 statement that former President Clinton had cut off ties more than a decade before Epstein's second arrest and didn't know about Epstein's alleged crimes. Okay? And dude, appreciate you, 𝗪𝗪. It's all good, boss. Fucking, we're in it. We're in it. We're in it together, boss. Yeah, these letters they do sound weird, but Epstein was a weird guy. A spokesman for Clinton. So Clinton says he stopped right after the first arrest, right? Epstein and Trump spent time together in the 90s and early 2000s, were photographed at social events, including with Maxwell and Melania Trump. A 1992 tape from the NBC archive shows Trump partying with Epstein at his Mar-a-Lago estate. That, of course, is the footage, this footage. Okay, that's this. That's 1992. Okay. That's down in Florida. Epstein was in Trump's home, right? Trump's club. Trump is seen pulling a woman toward him and patting her behind. Okay, Trump, along with others, including Clinton, also appeared several times on flight logs for Epstein's private jets. A 2002 New York Magazine profile of Epstein quoted Trump, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy," Trump said. "He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey enjoys his social life." Okay, now this is an actual quote that was from that magazine, New York Magazine, 2002. This quote has been like made its way around the internet and in many publications since. Donald Trump did say this. It's not bullshit. It's actual. So he went on record right there of knowing that he liked women on the young side. You know what I'm saying? Like young girls. I mean, a lot of these guys do, man. It's a power thing, right? It's for these guys that, you know what I'm saying? These guys, when you think about these really wealthy guys that are drunk on power and all that, they can get any woman, right? Any adult woman is like easy for them to snag, right? They can wine them, they can dine them. The ungettable for them are like those young girls that have that innocence that they can capitalize on. I mean, it's really, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty fucking toxic. It's definitely about power. You know, it's about power. There's like a power dynamic with young girls that is it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. And it's really, guys, I hate to say this, but it's rampant. Okay? It is rampant. I'll give you a test. Okay, guys, you ready for this? So the next time you're at an Olive Garden or some type of a Red Robin, some type of family restaurant where there's a bunch of families, if you see a teenage girl who's like 13 get up and walk to the bathroom, look at all of the men, okay, the fathers that are sitting there at the tables with their families, and watch her walk to the bathroom, okay? It's like this predatory like behavior on youth is like rampant. And there's a lot of like sexual molestation that happens in churches, in schools, in families, okay? This is like, dude, it's a real fucking problem. Even though we have laws about it, you know, sexual abuse, child sexual abuse is like hugely fucking problematic, okay? And kind of like the deeper the religion, the worse that shit gets. And so it's weird because we don't really talk about it, okay? We kind of pretend like this crazy shit is just like, it's like too insane to think about, but it exists, right? And so, you know, you sort of like, it's never like weirdos either. It's usually like the pinnacle of the community, right? I mean, I've seen it a lot in small towns. You find out so-and-so got in trouble for molesting their daughter, and the guy's like a business leader, a well-respected, beloved business or church leader in the town. And it's like, holy fucking shit, right? Because the way these guys usually get away with it is by like thinking, oh, no one's going to think it's me. You know what I'm saying? They're like the type of people that commit those power crimes are usually really good at just being lovable guys that nobody will think it's them, you know? It's really sad. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, when both men said they subsequently had a falling out, Trump has said their friendship ended before Epstein pleaded guilty to procuring a minor for prostitution in 2008, served time in a Florida jail, and registered as a sex offender. When Epstein was arrested again in 2019, Trump said he hadn't talked to Epstein for about 15 years. Now, what's crazy about this, though, guys, is Donald Trump's labor secretary, Alex Acosta, was the guy who got Epstein off the first time. So this is bullshit because Donald Trump knew that he took the guy who gave Epstein immunity and he gave that guy a cabinet position. Okay, Trump knew this. Like, come on, man. So this whole like, oh, I never spoke to him. I never followed up on him, right? It's like, why are you giving the guy who gave him immunity, you know what I'm saying? Why are you giving the guy who gave him immunity a fucking, a cabinet position? Why are you giving that guy a promotion? That's weird, isn't it? Dude. Well, I mean, Damon, yeah, if you go back to the 40s and 50s, like, guys dated teenage girls, man. That was, like, not uncommon, bro. Right? Elvis, fucking, you know, Jerry Lee Lewis married his, like, 12-year-old cousin or some shit, bro. It's fucked up. Okay. When Epstein was when Epstein was arrested again in 2019, Trump said he hadn't talked to Epstein for about 15 years. I knew him like everybody in Palm Beach knew him, Trump said in the Oval Office at that time. I was not a fan of his. That I can tell you. Yeah, we know that is untrue, okay, because he was up here saying, man, he's a lot of fun to be with. I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. Trump's spokeswoman told the Journal in 2023 that Trump had banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago club at some point in the past without elaborating. Okay, Maxwell, a British socialite, was convicted in 2021 of helping Epstein sex trafficking and sentenced to 20 years in prison. Maxwell didn't respond to a letter requesting an interview sent to her in prison. Arthur Aidala, an attorney who represented Maxwell, said at this point she is focused on her case before the Supreme Court of the United States. Now, those of you who wonder what she's doing with the Supreme Court is this goes back to 𝗪𝗪𝗪. So Trump's labor secretary, the guy he promoted, who was the DA, right? He was the federal attorney down in Florida, okay, that was in charge of prosecuting Epstein. He gave Epstein a plea deal hidden from the victims. It gave Epstein and all of his co-conspirators immunity. Okay, this was back in 2006, 2008, somewhere around then, right? And so Epstein got immunity and took a plea deal of one soliciting prostitution charge, did a little bit of jail time where he had 12 hours of work release every day. So he was in jail 1 day a week. And then he slept there the other 6 days a week. Okay, but other than that, he was allowed to go out. And so that was in Florida, right? That was, it was state charges, but he was, what was his role? So he was the, he was the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida. Okay? He was the U.S. attorney. So that was the Southern District of Florida. That had to be federal charges. Okay? Those were federal charges back then. Okay? Because he was not a district attorney for the state. He was the attorney, the U.S. District Court. So it was absolutely federal charges. Right? Which I'm sure it was because it involved his place in Manhattan as well, crossing state lines. Okay? It wasn't just Palm Beach. No, the Attorney General for Florida was Pam Bondi. Okay? But anyway, what happened though is he took a charge of soliciting prostitution. He registered as a sex offender, and then he got immunity for everything else. But the deal said him and his co-conspirators all had immunity. Now, what happened is later, Ghislaine Maxwell got charged with aiding and abetting his sex trafficking. And she's arguing, wait a second, I should have had immunity under that original deal with 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. So, right? So, yeah, I believe she started in 2011, okay? She, Pam Bondi was, let's look at her real quick. Yes, she took office as the Attorney General in 2011. Okay, so she won in 2010, so she came right after this. But she knew about this case, Okay, this, like, she knew about it. She was privy to all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Alex Acosta was the, he was the, let me see, he was in office. He left as the state's attorney right before she got on. So he was out of that office. But believe me, this was like, everybody knew this shit, right? It was like a big deal. Okay, so yeah, so Ghislaine Maxwell, though, is arguing that she shouldn't be in prison because she should have had immunity, right? You ran away a couple times? Shit, that's ballsy. All right. Now, the FBI's Epstein files. Here we go. Epstein's associations with Trump and many powerful people have been well documented. There remain questions about what the FBI possesses about Epstein and his well-connected friends. In 2019, the FBI confiscated evidence from Epstein's properties in the U.S. Virgin Islands and New York. Earlier this week, after the Journal sought comment from the president about the letter, Trump told reporters at the White House that he believes some Epstein files were made up by former presidents Barack Obama and Joe Biden and former FBI Director James Comey. All right. And that's what it's going to come down to, is the same thing it always comes down to with Trump, where anything that implicates him or somebody he knows is made up, right? You know what I'm saying? He said that releasing any more Epstein files would be up to Attorney General Pam Bondi. Okay. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release, Trump said. Allegations that bureaucrats covered up Epstein's connections with participants in his trafficking scheme were fanned by people now in top roles in the Trump administration, including FBI Director Kash Patel and his deputy Dan Bongino. In June 2024, Trump was asked in a Fox News interview whether he would release the Epstein case files. The Republican presidential candidate initially responded, "Yeah, I would." But he also expressed some reservations. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because it's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would. Soon after she was confirmed as Attorney General, Bondi said she was preparing to release new Epstein files. In late February, Bondi announced the release of phase 1 of the documents, but the material contained few new revelations, drawing criticism from right-wing influencers. And that was this binder right here, guys, which if you look at it, if you look at these binders, they very clearly, okay, these binders very clearly say on them, they say phase 1. The Epstein files, phase 1. Okay, so there was like, presumably, that means phase 2 is coming, right? You know? Bondi initially blamed the FBI's New York office for withholding information and promised to release the remaining documents. So she said, oh, it's the New York SDNY is holding this up. And SDNY is where these cases were tried. That's Southern District, New York. That's where they tried Jeffrey Epstein until his death, and where they were trying Ghislaine Maxwell as well. Okay. And she promised to release the remaining documents after redacting the victims' names. Patel also said there will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, and no stone left unturned. They tasked hundreds of FBI employees to review the materials and prepare them for release. The issue took on new life in June when Elon Musk, amid a public feud with Trump, alleged that the FBI was withholding documents from the Epstein case because Trump was in the files. Now, of course, guys, this was the big fucking, this was the big reveal, okay, was this tweet, okay? Remember this? When Elon went public with this, oops. Let me go back here. Okay. So it was this tweet, guys. Remember where he said, time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Okay? Now, this is bold, and Elon went back and later deleted this, but I think we all know this was true, right? One of the things that you may have noticed is Trump's response to this has always been weird. You know what I'm saying? It's always like non-denial denials, and his denials are always like some crazy attacks on the people's credibility and or shouts of hoax and fake news. I mean, dude, Trump is still talking about like Russia, you know, but that Russian stuff was not a hoax. Okay, the Mueller investigation was not a hoax. That shit was not a hoax, man. It was very clear that there was Russian involvement in the 2016 election. We know this. These crazy meetings he had with Russians, the rental leasing of apartments in Trump Tower, like all kinds of crazy shit. Everybody in his fucking inner circle had deep ties to Russia. You see how he still is kissing Putin's ass, won't stand up to Putin, won't even like say Putin invaded Ukraine, right? He still blames that shit on Ukraine, right? They're still like in cahoots with all kinds of like creepy fucking Russian people, man. I mean, dude, that shit was like just deep, right? Deep. The truth will come out, Musk wrote on Twitter on June 5th. He later deleted the message and said he regretted some of his comments. On July 7, the Justice Department backtracked on Bondi's pledge to release more Epstein files. The Justice Department said that after an exhaustive review, it had found no incriminating client list or additional documents that warrant public disclosure. Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee demanded this week Republican Chairman Jim Jordan hold hearings on the Trump admin's handling of the Epstein files and, if necessary, subpoena Bondi, Patel, and Bongino. At a cabinet meeting on July 8, Trump criticized a reporter for asking about Epstein. Are people still talking about this guy, this creep, Trump said? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time? That same day, Musk wrote on X, how can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release the Epstein files? So there it is. That is the bombshell. Okay, now let's look at this, because 1 hour ago, okay, there was more information, because now, right? So first off, he was like, stop talking about Epstein. Then he said it's all a hoax. It's fake. It's made up by Comey and Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and Barack Obama and this, that, and the other, right? I mean, he has been like, Trump has been all over the map since this happened. However, today, after he found out about this, he threatened to sue. We're going to look at Caroline Leavitt's press conference earlier today. She was put under the gun by many reporters. I found her responses to be very telling. Dude, Elf, let's go, baby. Oh, yeah, boss. Let's go. Thank you, Elf. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. But then Trump did come out and say, you know what? We're going to release the grand jury documents. Okay, now, before we get into this, we should note that the grand jury documents are not the end all be all here. Okay, if we look at this, okay, yes, they have stuff on Epstein and Maxwell. Okay, right here it says the grand jury testimony post is a ruse. Okay, so here's what Donald Trump said. This is today, 6 p.m. Okay, he said, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam, perpetuated by the Democrats, should end right now. But what Christine Pelosi says here is absolutely true. The quote, grand jury testimony post is a ruse. Oral testimony and documents are two different things, and the convicted felon knows that. Don't fall for the pertinent testimony technicality. Insist on the truth, okay? Because at the end of the day, the grand jury testimony is just people who came in and gave statements about Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, because that was like they were charging her. So the grand jury testimony people weren't in there talking about the guys who committed these crimes. They were talking about having seen her procure young girls for Epstein or having been picked up by Ghislaine to work for Epstein. So this testimony is going to have nothing, okay? It's going to have nothing. Like, none of the documents are going to be there. It is merely like them hearing oral evidence, okay? And Trump knows this, which is why he's giving it up, okay? You know what I'm saying? But everybody's like trying to make this seem like this is a big deal, okay? And it looks like a woman. Oh, that's the Karen Reed case, okay? And so the grand jury testimony is not going to be like, it's not going to offer a lot of this. Again, that's one of those token moves, right? That's a token move for him to be like, well, okay, I'm going to be transparent here. I'm going to release some shit. Blah. But none of that is going to talk about these guys, because they weren't involved, okay? In the case against Ghislaine Maxwell, there was nothing in that case that was about men like sexually abusing these young girls, okay? The only thing the Ghislaine Maxwell case was about was that Jeffrey Epstein was sex trafficking and Ghislaine Maxwell was working for him and procuring these girls or helping him carry out the sex trafficking. That the case never even touched on these guys, okay? You know, and maybe it's probably a good thing, because Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton all had their typewriters out in a Motel 6, pounding away trying to write those Epstein files to make Trump look really guilty, right? So if they had gone before the grand jury, they would have been fucked, right? There's no way they would have gotten this shit, right? Okay, so Trump calls for release of pertinent Epstein documents following Wall Street Journal article. The president threatened to sue the newspaper and News Corp for publishing article about a letter bearing his name that was included in the 2003 birthday gift for Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, Trump called for release of additional documents related to the investigation of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein following the publication of an article in the WSJ about a letter bearing Trump's name that was included in the birthday album. Trump, in a Thursday night social media post, said he directed Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. Elf, let's go. You're thinking about my son is moving to New York? Let's go. Yeah, dude, we're thinking about that too, Elf, a lot, right? We are. We're real excited for it. He's nervous. We're all a little nervous. We're excited to see what happens. But, you know, it's fucking, it's gonna be an adventure for sure. Thank you, Elf. Appreciate that, dude. Your finances, you're helping, boss. We're going to get him there. We're going to get him there. All right, Trump. So Bondi wrote on Twitter that she was ready to ask a court Friday to unseal the grand jury transcripts. Releasing Epstein-related documents became a rallying cry for many of Trump's top allies during the Biden administration and the 2024 presidential campaign. Dude, let's go. Thank you so much for that 10 spot. And you're right, dude, he's not going to sue, okay? Trump is not going to sue. You want to dance? All right, dude, we'll set the dance goal. Dude, let's do it. I probably should have started it from the very beginning, but we'll set a small goal. We'll do 1 hour. We'll get the dance going. Dude, I should just fucking back-to-back these, right? There it is. All right, 10 super chats, $2 or more. There it is. It doesn't count stickers. It's just super chats. White, blue, or more. There we go. Let's go. We get 10, we dance. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing. But you're right. Trump is not going to sue the Wall Street Journal because he would have to get deposed. My God, if he got deposed on this subject, like, are you kidding me? Everything would be open. His relationship with Epstein, previous accusations of sexual assault, like they could literally, can you imagine them going through Trump's entire history of sexual assault allegations and, you know, going over the porn star payments and all the infidelity and shit, having to fucking, right, do that publicly now, knowing that shit would be all over the internet? Oh my God. Dude, there's no way. And yes, Murdoch does know that. Okay, this is one of those where they've got him over the barrel and there's no FCC threat, right? He can't threaten their broadcast shit. These newspapers are fucking safe. So yeah, he's not going to sue. I would love to see him do it. I would love to see him get his clock cleaned, bro. But, Trump, who had socialized with Epstein in the past, said during the campaign that he would release additional details about the investigation. Last week, Justice Department incensed many in Trump's political base when it said in a memo that a thorough review had turned up no list of Epstein's clients, nor any additional documents that warrant public disclosure. Far-right media figures have long alleged a government cover-up in the case of Epstein, who killed himself in jail in 2019 while awaiting trial on federal charges of sex trafficking. Okay, some of Trump's most prominent supporters have called for Bondi's resignation in the midst of the fallout, but Trump has stood by her, which he will. Bondi's not going anywhere, guys. On Wednesday, the Justice Department fired federal prosecutor Maureen Comey, daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, who was involved in prosecutions of Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell. In early 2024, Maureen Comey filed a declaration in federal court asking a judge to decline to make Epstein-related records public in response to a Freedom of Information Act request. Comey said that the release of the records, which included witness statements and other materials from the investigation, could interfere with any retrial of Maxwell. The judge denied the request. Okay? Earlier this week, Trump criticized his own supporters for opposing his administration's decision not to release more material from the investigation, accusing them of buying into a Democratic narrative. In a separate social media post on Thursday night, Trump threatened to sue the Wall Street Journal for publishing the article, calling it false, malicious, and defamatory. Let's go look at his tweet, shall we? Dude, see his meltdown? Dude, let's go see how badly Trumpy melted down over this article. Oh, shit. You ready? Let's find it. What do we got here? Oh, here it is. Okay. This is it. It says the Wall Street Journal printed a fake letter supposedly to Epstein. These are not my words. Dude, let's go. You want to dance? You do the gopher shuffle from your wheelchair, look a little like the gopher from Caddyshack, but you don't care. You love it. You're a gymnast. Oh my God. Amazing, Les. I love that. Thank you so much. And I love the gopher in Caddyshack. Dude, I'm all right. Don't nobody worry about me. You guys remember the gopher in Caddyshack? I love that fucking movie, dude. At the very end, he pops up and he's like, I'm all right, with that Kenny Loggins song. Don't nobody worry about me. Dude, I love those fucking 70s and 80s movies. Dude, I grew up on that shit. Man, Caddyshack and you know, Stripes and fucking Ghostbusters and even going way out with the shittier ones like Porky's and fucking The Last American Virgin and Zapped and all those shitty, like looking back on it now, they're all like rape culture movies, like the really bad ones were, right? Meatballs, but a lot of those were fucking, Danger Zone was from Top Gun. Okay, the one from Caddyshack was I'm All Right. But Danger Zone is Top Gun. But all of those movies were like rape culture movies. When I think about it, they were so bad. Dude, they were so terrible. All right? Oh, shit. But Caddyshack is amazing. Right? My favorites were Meatballs, Caddyshack, Stripes. Stripes was really good. They had that crew, man, right? It was Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and fucking, you know, what's his name? Harold Ramis, right? And fucking, yeah, just good shit, dude. That's the fact, Jack. Dude, oh shit, Stripes was good. But, all right, so he says, the Wall Street Journal printed a fake letter, supposedly to Epstein. These are not my words, not the way I talk. Also, I don't draw pictures. I told Rupert Murdoch it was a scam, that he shouldn't print this fake story, but he did. And now I'm going to sue his ass off and that of his third-rate newspaper. Thank you for your attention to this matter, DJT. Dude, what the fuck is with this? Thank you for the attention, right? Thank you for your attention to this matter. Dude, that shit is so fucking weird, bro. Thank you, Bad. What the fuck is up with the thank you for your attention to this matter? Doesn't that sound stupid? Dude, Weekend at Bernie's was great, bro. Dude, and Andrew McCarthy, he was in a whole host of movies too. Like Mannequin, right? Oh, shit. Dude, Mannequin was a great movie, right? You remember? Do you like Mannequin? I love Mannequin. Dude, I love those movies, though. They're so fucking cheesy. Yeah, he always says that. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That looks like the only Trump tweet about this, though. Okay, he hasn't fucking... Oh, wait, no. Look at this. There's another one. Oh, shit. That was the second tweet, guys. This was apparently, this was the banger. Okay, it looks like this one was a follow-up tweet 5 hours ago. But look what we got, dude. Oh, Night Shift. Dude, we just watched Night Shift with the family. I know that's funny, right? The family, I watched it with my kid and Jenny because I wanted them to see Night Shift. What a great movie. Michael Keaton and Henry Winkler, so good. But look at this, guys. This was Trump's first meltdown. All right? I thought that fucking other one seemed a little bit calm, but this feels a little more Trumpy, doesn't it? Doesn't this one feel a little more like fucking Trump style? Oh, Lord. All right, you ready? So this is Trump's first freak out. He says the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch personally were warned directly by President Donald J. Trump that the supposed letter they printed by President Trump to Epstein was a fake, and if they print it, they will be sued. Mr. Murdoch stated that he would take care of it, but obviously did not have the power to do so. Okay, so Trump is saying he tried to squash this. He's admitting that he tried to squash this. The editor of the Wall Street Journal, Emma Tucker, was told directly by Caroline Levitt and by President Trump that the letter was a fake, but Emma Tucker didn't want to hear that. Instead, they were going with a false, malicious, and defamatory story anyway. President Trump will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Mr. Murdoch shortly. The press, dude, let's go, Elf. Let's go, baby. Star Wars fandom, let's go. All right. The press has to learn to be truthful and not rely on sources that probably don't even exist. But they saw the fucking paper, man. You know what I mean? President Trump has already beaten George Stephanopoulos, ABC, 60 Minutes, CBS, and others, and looks forward to suing and holding accountable the once great Wall Street Journal. By the way, Trump did not beat ABC or CBS. They never even went into discovery. They just settled for money. They basically paid Trump off and some money for his library to make that shit go away because they didn't want to do discovery either. Okay. But like, he didn't win lawsuits. He didn't beat anyone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They just gave in because they knew it would be more trouble than it's worth to drag on. Okay. And one of them was CBS. They were just trying to get that merger going. Okay. It has truly turned out to be a disgusting and filthy rag, the Wall Street Journal. And writing defamatory lies like this shows their desperation to remain relevant. Dude, that's what he always says, right? Right? Oh, yeah, you're not relevant. You're no longer relevant. Who are you for? CNN, no longer relevant. That's his little dig, dude, that like, oh, yeah, just because they don't sit there and create fake crises all day long, Trump, you fat piece of shit. Sorry, Jenny gives me shit. I'm not supposed to, like, weight shame Trump. Okay, so you fucking smarmy piece of shit. All right, no weight shaming. So I don't care about his weight. There's nothing wrong with being overweight. All right, or being heavy or whatever. All right, but Trump is a smarmy piece of shit. Thank you, Jenny. I can hear you in my head. Right, Jenny and Bryce, they try to keep me fucking honest. All right. So it says, if there were any truth at all on the Epstein hoax as it pertains to President Trump, this information would have been revealed by Comey, Brennan, Crooked Hillary, and other radical left lunatics years ago. It certainly would not have sat in a file waiting for Trump to have won 3 elections. Fuck you, Trump. You only won 2, you fucking dink. This is yet another example of fake news. He's got to throw a lie in there about the election. Now, you ready? So here's the thing, guys. Obviously, if nobody else would have released this shit because they would be protecting the people as well. Okay, we know people were protecting Clinton. We know there's Bill Gates. We know there's a lot of other, I'm sure, politicians, business leaders. There's probably some religious leaders. I mean, we know this list has got some very deep fucking things. So everybody sort of suppressed it. But it doesn't matter. I mean, for me, I don't care if people suppressed it earlier. If they're willing to come out with it now and let people take their knocks, I think that's fine, right? I would rather bring it out now, and if Clinton was in there, prosecute Clinton. I'm down with that. Fuck it, prosecute Bill Gates. I'm down with that. I'd rather bring it out. Like who cares if you know, it's like now is the time. It takes what it takes. You know what I'm saying? You know, the point is let's get it out there. But the point, though, really for me, is that Donald Trump exclusively made this a part of his ethos. Okay, this Epstein list and him implying that it's all just Democrats and it had nothing to do with him and it's all the Clintons and it's all whatever. He implied all that shit. And then he said, yeah, we're going to release this because it's all these other people. And now that he's got the power to release it, now he's changing his tune. And that's suspect. Like, why were you calling for its release the whole time everybody else was in office? But now you're like not going to release it, you know? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these people weren't even involved sexually, I'm sure, because Jeffrey Epstein was a very connected to these big charitable money moves, right? He managed Wexner's money. So, right. So the thing in that circle is, you know, Bill Clinton had the Clinton Foundation. If he wanted to raise millions of dollars, he's going to be hanging out with people like Jeffrey Epstein and the people that Epstein represented, you know. But again, if he did shit, put him in jail. I have no problem if he fucking, if he fucking goes to jail. I have no problem. All of them. But there's the original meltdown. That is the melter, which is interesting because it shows how Trump tried. Trump actually talked to Rupert Murdoch to try and get him to bury this thing. That's really interesting, isn't it? Right? That he goes on there, that he tried. All right, let's watch. Shall we watch some of Karoline Leavitt's press conference? Because I feel like her presser today was pretty good. Oh, here we go. Karoline Leavitt takes questions on the handling of the Epstein case. Oh, shit. Natalie, let's go. Oh, did you already give it to me? Oh, thank you. Of course you did. Of course you did. I'm like, all right. There we go. All right.
Good afternoon, everyone.
This is today's? No, this is 2 days ago. This was the day before, actually, right? Because she's wearing
where he will visit both Turnberry and Aberdeen.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm looking at the wrong date. You're right. That is today because I'm looking at the clock. It's after midnight, so it says the 18th. My bad. You were right. You're right. I'm an idiot. Thank you.
Where he will visit.
All right. 17th is today. My bad. Dude. I'm not good with dates because I never leave my house and all 7 of my days are like the exact same, right? That's one thing that's crazy. Like doing this political content, like my days, I cannot even tell what day it is. I can kind of tell the weekends because the news cycle is a little less, but all I do is I'm on Twitter all day and I'm fucking editing videos all day and I'm posting shit all day. And I am fucking streaming part of the day. And that's it. It's my whole day, every day, 7 days a week. It's the exact same cycle. So all the days bleed together. It's wild. All right, here we go.
Turnberry and Aberdeen from July 25th to July 29th. During the visit, President Trump will meet again with Prime Minister Starmer to refine the great trade deal that was brokered between the United States and the United Kingdom. And the President and the First Lady will travel to the United Kingdom for an official state visit from September 17th to September 19th.
Dude, she looks a little like, I mean, just her demeanor, doesn't she seem a little stressed? Like she's normally, you can see it. You can see it in her demeanor. Like normally she's much more relaxed, but she is not relaxed today, guys. And I do believe she has a little cross. If you see, there is a little cross hanging on there. I think I see the necklace. I think I see a small cross.
Later this fall. This
it's a little one right
truly
there.
Unprecedented second state visit for President Trump. And he is honored and looking forward to meeting with His Majesty the King at Windsor Castle.
You see it? It's right there.
There's been a wave of
It's a tiny silver cross right there. She's got a cross. It's just a little one. Dude, she looks stressed, right? Yeah, she looks like she needs to bake some green. Dude, she's like, right? Dude, she looks like she needs she needs a younger husband. Is what she needs. Just kidding. Oh, shit.
Economic news over the past week, which I would like to highlight today. Joe Biden's inflation crisis has been defeated.
Oh, Joe Biden's inflation crisis. All right, let's get to the fucking questions here.
To Southwest reversible handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard.
This we should look at. This is about Trump's he's injured from handshakes. Okay? Yeah, 7 minutes. He's injured from handshakes. Okay? Trumpy. He's like Unbreakable. You ever see that movie with Samuel L. Jackson where he's in the wheelchair? He's got that disease? Dude, somebody's fucking smacked Trump's ass with a dirty Nancy Mace taco. And so now his skin's peeling off, dude. He's got leprosy, right? Dude, somebody took Nancy Mace's taco and fucking slapped Trump. Oh, right across the face, bro. Now he's got the jitters. His skin is peeling off. He smells like fucking genital checks in a truck stop bathroom. Dude, did you guys know I dated Nancy Mace? Dude, we went on a date once and we did genital checks at a truck stop bathroom. It was a weird date. I was like, I think you're cute and all, but this is kind of a weird situation. So I'm going to kind of opt out. I think I'm going to go get a couple Red Bulls and be on my way. Right? Dude, it just wasn't my jam. You know what I mean? I thought she was super cute, but, checking genitals at the fucking Flying J bathroom just wasn't really my scene. Right? Oh, shit. Dude. Although people be clocking Nancy Mace for sure, man. Oh, shit. Oh, that's good. All right, but yeah, Caroline Leavitt she is stressed, dude. She is. She's not well. Look at her.
America's children's innocence is protected, and our children can lead healthy and productive lives.
All right, hold on. Let's get here.
Child's sex is now be closing its doors. Urging American children to only have the backs of all ICE agents who are doing their jobs to keep all of us, including everyone.
Dude, fuck ICE. By the way, yeah, no, that's why I rewound it, Natalie, because I want to hear what they say about trans people. So I went back so we can hear that. Because obviously they're going to say some nasty shit about trans people. But one thing I did want to say about ICE is this. You ready? So first off, fuck ICE, okay? Fuck you, ICE. Fuck you, Trumpy. Tom Homan, spit that dick out, buddy. All right? Secondly, you realize ICE keeps putting these quotes. There's been a 400% increase in assaults, a 700% increase in assaults. What ICE has been doing, guys, is bullshit. You saw with like Representative McIver in New Jersey or Brad Lander, where all Brad Lander did was hold his hand onto the immigrant guy's shirt and refuse to let go unless they show him a warrant. But what happens is the minute they arrest somebody for doing nothing, they charge them with assault. So there's been a 700% increase with assault because the minute they're beating the shit out of an immigrant, if you come up and film it or say something to them or try to help the immigrant, they grab you, throw you on the ground, and charge you with assault. Okay? And so fuck them. And yes, you can hear it in her voice. She is shook. Okay? She is. They are shook, guys. They are under siege. You know what I mean? I mean, think about it. Think about this on a real level. Like, she's got to know. I mean, I think she's a real Christian, right? So at some point, she's going to have to confront the fact that she's working for a rapist and teen sexual abuser. And that, like, dude, if she keeps this up, she's going to be crispy in fucking hell, bro. It's like God's going to pitch her right in the fucking crisper, dude, and put that shit on high, bro. She's a fake Christian? Yeah, I know. Probably. Aren't they all? Are there any real Christians? All right, she's going to be a crispy critter, boss. I'd say, Caroline, if you're listening, bring some Noxema, okay? I've had really good luck with Noxema, all right? I've had some really severe burns that I was able to fucking just move right through them, right? Dude, Grover 2028. Dude, you like my shirt, guys? Look at this Grover shirt. Let's go. It says, fuck the police, bro. Isn't this this is the greatest Sesame shirt ever made, boss. Right? Oh, look at that, dude. Grover is based. Right? Oh, let's go, Grover. Dude, based Grover. Oh, fuck. I have 3 of these. I have it in 3 different colors, dude. I fucking bought them up. All right. All right, let's go. Thank you, Natalie. All right, let's hear what they say. Now they're about to disparage trans people. All right, let's fucking...
One in this room safe. The facility... sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, yeah. You see her, dude? She is fucking shook. She is.
Safe. The facility... sorry, 1 second. In other news, following President Trump's bold executive actions protecting American children from irreversible chemical and surgical mutilation, the largest provider of these barbaric practices will now be closing its doors. The facility in Los Angeles, California, is just the latest facility downsizing or eliminating their irreversible and harmful services that feed into the lie that you can somehow change a child's sex. The Biden administration peddled dangerous policies that defied medical science in favor of radical transgender ideology. But President Trump has put an end to that.
Yeah, dude, if they're taking away Botox, like Laura Trump is going to be fucked, bro. Her face is going to fucking disappear.
Or America's children's innocence is protected, and our children can lead healthy and productive lives.
Dude, yeah, where they can then be raped by the president, Donald Trump, and his billionaire cronies. All right, congratulations. All right, we won't help any of the trans kids, but any of you young girls who want to be raped by the president, please form a line to my right, and we will fucking feed you to the machine later. Dude, she's such a bitch, bro. Like, the fact that they target trans people like that really fucking pisses me off.
Finally, last night, Senate Republicans passed President Trump's $9 billion rescissions package.
Okay, by the way, we should talk about this $9 billion rescissions package because remember Doge? Dude, Doge, they promised fucking $1 trillion in cuts. And what did they cut? They cut $9 billion. Okay, they cut $9 billion. And it was just defunding NPR and PBS, right? So they didn't do shit, right? And so Rebecca, so I think cisgendered people will be able to get gender affirming care. And it's the same with puberty blockers, guys. The only people that can't have hormones and puberty blockers are transgender people, okay? Kids can still get puberty blockers. Kids can still get hormones if you are cisgendered. It is not a fucking, it is just exclusively attack on trans care. And right? You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty fucking shitty. But it doesn't, I mean, ultimately it sucks, but there's also the internet. So I feel like the places that do serve that stuff up, we're just going to, you know, we're going to have to do it on the underground for a couple of years. And, you know, yeah, it's fucking brutal. It's fucking brutal, man. It's fucking brutal, dude. It is. I hate this shit. It's like, why can't you just leave people alone with your weird religious fucking culture wars, right? We're not taking away your Botox, you fucking dumb bitches, right? I mean, look at her face, bro. Look at her face, dude. Her face looks like it's been injected more times than fucking 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗏𝗃, dude. Like, my God, bro. I've seen heroin addicts who have had less needle marks on their fucking body, bro. It's like, fuck.
This will help restore fiscal sanity in our country by rescinding billions in wasteful foreign aid and finally ending taxpayer funding for PBS and NPR, two media organizations that have ridiculously used federal dollars to push a partisan left-wing agenda for many years. The House should pass this rescissions package immediately and send it to the president's desk for signature.
Well, you know what, you dumbasses? We're going to fund NPR and PBS anyway without you guys. You know what I'm saying? And then we're just going to take charitable tax deductions funding it. So fuck you, you fucking weird 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗏𝗃 fucking Botox face. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking A. Fucking A. Fucking idiots. Like, fuck you. You're not going to take away our NPR and PBS.
On another note, I know that many in the media have been speculating about bruising on the president's hand and also swelling in the president's legs. So,
dude, look at her demeanor, guys. Can we just go back? We just got to look at something real quick, guys. We got to look at okay, let's just look at her in June. Let's find an old one. June 26th. Look at her.
very closely in the weeks and the days leading up to the attack on Saturday, which I will add was one of the most secretive and successful operations in United States history. I think many of you in this room would agree with that because none of you in this room knew about the strike on Saturday until it took place. So we were watching closely, and there was no indication to the United States that any of that enriched uranium was moved prior to the strike.
You see how fucking, like, you see her energy? She's way more on point, way
on
more
Saturday
confident.
night, the president secured a ceasefire. A lot has happened in the last week. He was just in the Netherlands. Now he's back home to have a big event this afternoon on the One Big Beautiful Bill and get our domestic priorities across the finish line. So we'll get there. And
right? You see that? You see the difference? You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's fucking... She stopped using adrenochrome. Dude, now look at her, though. Oh, fuck, bro. Here it comes, the president's hand, dude. The cross is getting smaller. Yeah, the next cross is going to be the fucking micro cross, bro. You're going to need a magnifying glass to see it, but here we go.
The House should pass this rescissions package immediately and send it to the president's desk for signature. On another note, I know that many in the media have been speculating about bruising on the president's hand and also swelling in the president's legs. So in the effort of transparency, the president wanted me to share a note from his physician with all of you today. In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. Laboratory testing included a complete blood count, comprehensive metabolic panel, coagulation profile, D-dimer, B-type nature.
Boy, this is real exciting stuff here, bro.
Patriotic peptide and cardiac biomarkers. All results were within normal limits. An echocardiogram was also performed and confirmed normal cardiac structure and function. No signs of heart failure, renal impairment, or systemic illness were identified.
Dude, he got the fucking Epstein special, right? 2 greasy fingers right in the bunghole. Oh shit, bro. The Epstein special, dude. He got the Stephen Miller, where they come in and they give you a hand job with a steel wool oven mitt.
Additionally, recent photos of the president have shown minor bruising on the back of his hand. This is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of a standard cardiovascular prevention regimen.
Dude, so Donald Trump is such a fucking candy ass that he can't even shake hands without being injured, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not really feeding me a lot of confidence. Like, dude, goddamn, Joe Biden sometimes couldn't find his way out of the fucking room he was in, but that motherfucker could shake hands like a monster, bro. I don't even care if my president can't find his way out of the bathroom. I want him to be able to have a handshake like a goddamn man, bro. I'll lead him out of the bathroom, but you want him to be able to fucking shake hands without having his fingers fall off and shit. Seriously, right? I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Fuck you, Trumpy! Fuck off! Dude, vice grips. Dude, yeah, no, I know. He squeezes hands, right? But he's just injuring himself. It's just fucking self-harm for that dumbass.
This is a well-known and benign side effect of aspirin therapy. And the president remains in excellent health, which I think all of you witness on a daily basis here. So the president wanted me to share that note with all of you. I'm happy to take further questions on it.
Dude, she is shook, though. Again, she is shook.
I said we're in constant communication.
And just one more, just on the goal of the meeting. The president mentioned yesterday that it may not be necessary to
support from the past.
That was possible. It was a surprise to everyone in this room. It was a surprise.
You see her? She's fucking cheery. She is not cheery. All right, you ready? Dude, let's go. Yeah, no, I know he tries to vice grip, but he can't hang, dude. He vice grips and then he gets fucking wounded afterwards, right? All I can say is he sounds like a damn fool who can't even fucking, right? He can't even fucking speak straight, dude. Dude, he forgot. Did you see the other day, guys? It was like yesterday, I think, where this motherfucker was talking about, like, I don't know who fucking appointed Jerome Powell, but like, what a horrible appointment. And it's like, you dumb motherfucker, like Donald Trump appointed Jerome Powell to the Fed, bro. And he's like, dude, yeah, he is like such an idiot, dude. Watch this, dude. Fucking clown. You ready? Watch this.
It does hurt people wanting to get a mortgage. People want to buy a house. He's a terrible Fed chair. I was surprised he was appointed. I was surprised, frankly, that Biden put him in. It does hurt people wanting to get a mortgage.
Surprised he was appointed. Surprise, Biden put him in. It's like he put him in. He nominated Jerome Powell. He put Powell in that fucking post, bro. Obama, Biden, dude. Oh my God, yeah. Biden renominated him because he's fucking doing a fine job. Dude, let's go. Oh shit. Oh, we've got the actual clip. Dude, here he is.
As president, there are a few decisions more important than nominating leaders of integrity and good judgment to hold trusted positions in public office.
Oh, thank you, Trumpy. Who are you
talking
talking
of those
about?
Trusted positions are more important than the chairman of the Federal
Obama.
Reserve.
Obama and Biden.
Accordingly, it is my pleasure and my honor to announce my nomination of Jerome Powell
Thank you.
to be the next chairman of the Federal Reserve.
Oh, Trumpy.
Congratulations.
Obama and Biden. Let's go. Thank you, Trumpy. Thank you for that selling point about fucking... Yeah, Natalie is so good, dude. She's the fucking queen, boss. All right, here we go.
We will provide the memorandum from the president's position to all of you, as we always do. And we'll get to questions. Here in our new media seat, we have Frank Corva, who's the White House correspondent for Bitcoin Magazine, which comes at a timely week with crypto legislation moving across Capitol Hill. So why don't you kick us off, Frank, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it, Ms. Levitt.
Sure.
I was curious to hear if the president was in favor of removing any and all language around central bank digital currencies from the Genius Act, maybe as a means to get it across the line and get it on his desk. And then my second question was about something the president spoke about in this room. He talked about a $600 de minimis.
Dude, we're going to make it, guys. Let's go. We only need 4 more crypto
tax
infomercial. Yeah.
exemption for Bitcoin and other cryptos.
Yeah, we're going to skip the Bitcoin shit.
To accomplish. This piece of legislation is as for people signing them, and he looks forward
Not
to
that the crypto shit isn't important. It's just not on tap for today.
The president is referring to the fact that Democrats have now seized
Oh, here we go.
the signing ceremony this afternoon.
Here we go.
Thank you for being
here.
with us.
I believe this first question is about him calling it a hoax, right? Because now they want to fucking redo the hoax. Yeah, dude, she is torqued, bro. They are shook. They are shook. We need to keep the pressure on. Dude, I am going to make an Epstein video every fucking day, bro, for like the next couple months, dude. Whatever. We are going to keep the pressure on these motherfuckers.
There will be future pieces of legislation in regards to crypto that will be moving through Capitol Hill. The president looks forward to signing them, and he looks forward to the signing ceremony this afternoon.
Double tug.
Thank you for being with us today.
Double tug.
Sure. Jackie.
Thank you, Caroline. There's been a lot of discussion about the Epstein files and the president's comments yesterday calling it a hoax. Can you clarify which part of the Epstein hoax is the
Dude, look at that breath. Do you see that? Did you see that breath right there? That is like I was a director, okay? I was a director of commercials and film and television shit. And so it's like things like this. It's like little behaviors like this are always really interesting because she is having a deep emotional fucking response to these questions, right? And it's weird because you don't know what the response is, whether it's about her like conflict with being a Christian woman in this administration, with the lying, with the pressure. Thank you, Les. With the pressure she's receiving. But you can see that she is like agitated and like trying to hold it together. You know what I'm saying? In a major way. Like that breath right there is wild. Okay? Like she kind of hits with the smile, but the smile is even forced.
Thank you, Caroline. There's been a lot of discussion about the Epstein files and the president's comments yesterday calling it a hoax. Can you clarify which part of the Epstein hoax is the hoax part?
The president is referring to the fact that Democrats have now seized on this as if they ever wanted transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, which is an asinine suggestion.
By the way, the Democrats are the one who put Ghislaine Maxwell in jail, okay? And presumably from Maureen Comey fighting that freedom of information, that FOIA request, it would appear that some of the people in the DOJ wanted to hold everything until her appeal is done. Okay. But remember that the only reason anyone went to prison is because of the Democrats. Okay, so just for the record, let's not forget that.
Clarify which part of the Epstein hoax is the hoax part.
The president is referring to the fact that Democrats have now seized on this as if they ever wanted transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, which is an asinine suggestion for any Democrat to make. The Democrats had control of this building, the White House, for 4 years, and they didn't do a dang thing when it came to transparency in regard.
They did put Ghislaine in prison.
To Jeffrey Epstein and his heinous crimes. It was this president who directed the Department of Justice and the Attorney General to do an exhaustive review of all files related to Jeffrey Epstein, which they did. The Attorney General and the FBI, led by Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, these are great patriots, some of the most trusted voices in the Republican Party movement.
Dude, North Korea, anyone? I'm waiting for her to fucking pull her dress open. She's got a fucking one of those North Korean outfits on under there. Yeah, what part is the hoax? The part is the hoax is because Democrats are now calling for the files. Like, why did you say there was no list and now there is a list, but Obama wrote it? Obama wrote it.
It's part of the reason the president appointed them to these high law enforcement positions. And they spent many months going through all of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein, and they concluded what they found in that memo, which they drafted and they released. And so the president has been transparent. He has followed through on his promises to the American people, but he doesn't like to see Democrats and the mainstream media covering this like it's the biggest story that the American people care about.
Well, it is the biggest story the American people care about, Caroline. It is, because you're fucking lying. You're covering it up. Trump is saying it's like, it exists. It doesn't exist. It exists, but Biden wrote it. Comey wrote it. It's a hoax. Now it's a hoax. Did you see Elon's tweet? Now, I'm not going to give Elon props because Elon paid for this dumb motherfucker to get in the fucking house. But look at Elon's tweet today. Wow, I can't believe Epstein killed himself before realizing it was all a hoax. All right? I mean, savage. But Elon, it would be nice if this motherfucker didn't pay for him to be in office, because we shouldn't even have to deal with this dumbass. But it's pretty savage there about the fucking hoax thing. Although, Elon, fuck you, buddy. You get no credit, boss. You get no credit.
The president has been working so hard this week. On Tuesday, he went to Pennsylvania, where he secured $90 billion in investments for the Commonwealth, for the
no one cares
people of that state. After that, he came back to the Oval Office at 8 p.m. He went in there to whip votes to get the Genius Act signed into law. And
no one cares.
Because of his efforts, that bill is now going to be signed.
No one cares.
And passed. The following day, yesterday, he meets with a foreign leader, the king of
no one cares.
Bahrain, to secure more investments into this country. And then
no one cares.
Yesterday afternoon, the president is in the East Room of the White House mourning with parents who have lost their children.
Mourning. No one cares. Sure, he was mourning. He's like fucking watching porn on his phone. Come on now.
Because of fentanyl, signing a bipartisan piece of legislation.
No one cares.
And not a single cable network in this country took that event live.
No one cares.
And covered that event like they should.
Because no one cares. Okay? What we care about is we care about the rapist president fucking teenage girls and then covering that shit up. And you, Caroline Leavitt, a Christian, lying to protect these sexual abusers. You, what the hell? Okay? Nobody fucking cares about Trump fucking trying to hit on some parents that lost kids to fentanyl. Okay? We do care about the fact that Trump's staff won't let him be in the room with a young girl alone because he's such a degenerate, smarmy motherfucker, okay, that they have to, like, make sure there's a person in there so he doesn't fucking sexually harass his own staff, okay? And we care about him being a rapist. We care about him sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll. We care about him being an adulterous, smarmy piece of shit that likes to proselytize fucking Christian morals and shit. And that's all we care about, is that you guys use this fucking, Epstein files as some big cloud over the Democrats for years. Okay, let's go, Elf. Let's go. 20 bones, baby. Let's go. 2 more, we dance. right? For years, they use this shit as a dark cloud over us. And we're like, excuse me, we're like, fuck you. Okay? No more dark cloud. Let's fucking do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's fucking see this shit. Let's get it out there.
Those are the issues the president cares about. What could be more important to the American people
than the president being a rapist? Nothing. Show us the files.
And helping families who have lost their children. Those are the issues this president is going to remain focused on.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. What Les said right there is funny, because when Biden got win after win after win after win after win, and he never got any coverage. All they did was talk about Hunter and show pictures of his son's dick on the Congress floor and shit. So it's like, fuck you, Caroline. We don't care about Trump's little fucking accomplishments. We're fucking gonna burn you motherfuckers to the ground for all 4 years. We're never gonna let go of this fucking scandal. Ever. Okay? Ever. We are gonna talk about Epstein until you can't even fucking come to the podium anymore, motherfuckers.
Wants to move on from the story, but you do.
The president cares about. What could be more important to the American people than helping families who have lost their children? Those are the issues this president is going to remain focused on.
I understand he wants to move on from the story, but you do have some prominent figures, including the Senate Majority Leader, the House Speaker, voicing support for the files to come out. Representative Massey collecting signatures that would force a discharge petition for a vote on the floor for this. It doesn't seem to be going away. What is stopping the administration from just redacting any sensitive information,
Releasing
grand
it all.
jury information, and putting out what is appropriate so that the American people can decide and then let this story die?
Well, in terms of redactions or grand jury seals, those are questions for the Department of Justice. Those are also questions for the judges who have that information under a seal. And that would have to be requested, and a judge would have to approve it. That's out of the president's control.
Well, I'm sure we can get a judge to approve it. Borrow bad, there's 10, baby. We're dancing after this, guys. We're dancing.
He has said, in agreement with some of the leaders on Capitol Hill, that if the Attorney General and the Department of Justice come across any other credible evidence, they should provide that to the American people. The president has said that, and he agrees with them on
Why
that.
did you fire Maureen Comey?
The Department of Justice did, and I would defer you to them. 𝗙𝗫𝗍.
Has the White House been directly in touch with some of the MAGA influencers that are still not satisfied with the administration's handling? And
ooh, what a good question. Has the White House been in touch with some of the MAGA influencers?
has the message to them been similar to what the president has said, which is sort of either let this go or we don't need your support?
Well, look, the president and this team are always in contact with the president's supporters, with voices of many kinds on both sides of the aisle. I think that's part of the reason
they are always in contact with their supporters, dude. Come here, cat turd. Let's give you some of that double tug. Come here. Don't run over your dogs now. Don't get so excited from the double tug, right? Don't get so excited from the double tug you drive over your own dogs there, cat turd. Right?
This president is a great president because he's willing to listen and hear other people's perspectives. But
dude, he's willing to listen and hear other people's perspectives. Unless you're a trans person, then he's going to throw you under the fucking bus, right? And yeah, no, Natalie, it is funny. They follow judicial policy indeed when they don't want to release stuff. But the minute the judicial policy is about not sending innocent people to foreign prisons for life, they're like, judges? Activist judges? Those goddamn activist judges?
With voices of many kinds on both sides of the aisle. I think that's part of the reason this president...
Yeah, the Trumpy who just in his last rally said, I really, really hate the Democrats. I hate all the Democrats. He's hanging out with people from across the aisle. They mean people across the aisle at fucking Mar-a-Lago, right? He's hanging out with the people on the other side of the fucking... other side of the bathroom.
To what the president has said, which is sort of either let this go or we don't need your support.
Well, look, the president and this team are always in contact with the president's supporters, with voices of many kinds on both sides of the aisle. I think that's part of the reason this president is a great president because he's willing to listen and hear other people's perspectives. But ultimately, he has led this country, not just over the past 6 months to historic success, but also through his first 4 years as president. And as the leader and the creator of the MAGA movement, he has led through these perilous times for our country based on instinct and in the best interest of the country. And as I always say, the American people should trust in President Trump.
Yeah, American people should trust in the guy with 34 felony convictions, 26 credible rape accusations, best friend of fucking, you know, Jeffrey Epstein, the guy who's lied like 60,000 times. You want to trust that guy? Dude, fucking, yeah, I'll take a rain check on that, huh?
Go ahead, John.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. The president on Monday announced that if there's not compliance with Russia within 50 days, there would be increased tariffs. Can you explain how that works first?
From deep administration.
We're going to skip the Russia.
To be far any need for tariffs.
Signed on to what she's calling the Dignity Act. I'm curious what the White House's position is on the legislation and if the president would veto this bill if it made it to its desk.
From my understanding, the White House nor the president has actually read through this legislation. We've been focused.
Republicans signed on to what she's calling the Dignity Act.
The Dignity Act? I don't know what the Dignity Act is.
NPR will be a risk to public safety. I am not sure how NPR said cutting NPR will be run up to the election. They sent an office who nearly 80 million Americans are at. Yes, 20 woke and white privilege. PBS resentment, promoting the myth of America. Mountain BS's White House court racist. Shared a photo of herself wearing a 220, and that sounds like a partisan opinion to me. And this is a taxpayer-funded organization. In 2018, that same CEO that you're talking about called the president in the Oval Office, who nearly 80 million Americans elected, she called him racist. Shared a photo of herself wearing a Biden for president campaign hat, serves on the board of a Soros-funded activist group. In 2020, PBS
Soros-funded or Elon Musk-funded?
White House correspondent at the time characterized President Trump's speech then at Mount Rushmore as a love letter to white resentment.
All right, that sounds accurate. Every time he opens his mouth, he's a fucking replacement theory white supremacist bitch.
Promoting the myth of America. In 2017, PBS devoted an entire panel talking about what it means to be woke and white privilege.
All right, we need more of that, man.
In 2023, PBS's Washington Week roundtable covered up Joe Biden's clear mental divine. That's actually quite the
mental divine. Joe Biden's mental divine.
Clip. I would encourage all of you to look at it. These are outlets.
All right.
Could the stance of the monetary policy is slightly less than
monetary policy.
55 administration and the
floated the idea of a special prosecutor.
Oh, here we go.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline.
No, I called on Charlie, but Deanna, you can go ahead too. Go ahead.
The president said that he floated the idea of a special prosecutor in the Epstein case. Can you confirm that? And does he ask the Attorney General to do this, to appoint a special prosecutor to look it over?
Well, the idea was floated from someone in the media to the president. The president would not recommend a special prosecutor in the Epstein case. That's how he feels. And as for his discussions with the Attorney General, I'm not sure.
Oh, so he's no special prosecutor. Sorry, Bobby. Lauren Boebert was trying to get laid with some Matt Gaetz and not happening.
Deanna.
Caroline. Thank you so much. Do you know what the president's reaction was to Mike Johnson saying that he wants additional files released, the Epstein files? Was there a conversation with Mike Johnson about that following his comments?
I won't discuss the president's private conversations with the Speaker of the House, but as I answered to Jackie's question earlier, the president has said if the Attorney General and the Department of Justice and the FBI have any more credible evidence in regards to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes.
Credible evidence. They've been using the word credible, guys. That is how they're trying to make it so they can keep some of it quiet. Is that word credible is carrying a lot of weight. Right? They're using it like waste, fraud, and abuse, right? Men and women's sports, credible, fucking, we're being invaded, right? They're using it as part of their little branding, okay? They're saying credible evidence, which is, of course, the evidence they want to release is credible, and the evidence they don't want to get seen would not qualify as credible. But that gives them an out. They always do that, okay? Dude, they always do that. Dude, it's what they do, right? And yes, it would be Pam Bondi ultimately and via Donald Trump, I'm sure, since he's like, probably like watching her dance naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you picture that? You think Pam Bondi goes over there and does like a striptease for Trump during their meetings? I could see it, man. I could, dude. Trumpy's over there with his little 2-inch dick. He's trying to find it in the folds of his pants while she's dancing. She's like, look at me. And he's like, I'm trying to find the mushroom. Keep going, keep going. I know it's in here somewhere. Oh, shit.
They should put that forward. He has called on them to do that. Sure.
Thank you, Caroline.
With a few days.
I'll go to all of you, starting with the lady in the blue. Go ahead.
With a few days to the August 9th deadline, how are the negotiations with Europe going?
Tariffs, trade.
Mild swelling in his legs.
Yes, sir.
Your letter that you read at the beginning.
Sure.
The president, you said mild swelling in his legs.
Yes, sir.
Is it causing him any discomfort? How are you treating it?
Nope. No discomfort from the president at all, and you probably all see that on a day-to-day basis. He's working around the clock. As for the treatment...
Dude, again, though, she has not seemed like there's been any levity to these proceedings the whole time, dude. None of it.
I can defer to the president's physician, and we'll get you this letter. I think it will answer all our national...
Give him a brief overview of what was in these Epstein files. Does he have only...
Oh, here we go.
Two questions. So the first is that President Trump said that the Attorney General only gave him a brief overview of what was in these Epstein files. Does he have knowledge or an understanding of what is in the files related to Epstein that have not been released?
Not to my knowledge, and that's a question for the Attorney General, as I said, and the President has told the Attorney General if they have any more credible evidence, they should release it.
Is that evidence, would she have to run that by the President before she released it?
I don't think so. He said if she has any more credible evidence, she should release it.
See, you notice they, like, are you noticing the games they play? Like, you will not see them use, every single person who talks about this is going to start using the term credible evidence. Okay. And that, right? And that gives them, credible means anything. Oh, why is it not credible? Because we say it's fake. Like Trump says the letter to Epstein is not credible because Trump says it's a fake. I'm going to sue you. And his threatened a lawsuit means that's the proof, right? The proof that it's not credible is he's threatening to sue. I mean, dude.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead, yes.
Great. Thank you, Caroline. Two questions. One, today...
And you can go ahead, Andrew. Don't worry.
Today, tens of thousands of folks are rallying nationwide to honor the legacy of Congressman John Lewis. Meanwhile, Republicans in Texas reportedly are working to redraw congressional maps at President Trump's urging.
Ooh, what a question. You hear that one? He's talking about people celebrating John Lewis, who was a civil rights fucking hero. And he says at the same time they're celebrating John Lewis, Trump has asked Texas to gerrymander the maps to dilute the fucking minority vote and the Democratic vote in Texas in order to gain extra House seats to try and win the 2025 election. What a fucking question.
Today, tens of thousands of folks are rallying nationwide to honor the legacy of Congressman John Lewis. Meanwhile,
that's good shit.
Republicans in Texas reportedly are working to redraw congressional maps at President Trump's urging. How is President Trump reconciling his call to action for Texas Republicans with the legacy of Representative John Lewis?
I'm not quite sure how the two things are related. I think the president would agree.
How the two things are related? What do you mean you're not sure? Like John Lewis was a fan of voting rights, and what's happening in Texas is you're trying to take away the power of voters in Texas in order to, like, basically create new seats. Like, wow, she doesn't see? Dude, fuck.
That John Lewis served our country for many, many years. It has nothing to do with the redistricting efforts that are currently underway by Texas Republicans to add seats to their legislature. They have the right to do that. The president spoke to the congressmen and women who serve the great state of Texas about it, but it's up to them and it's up to their legislature to get that approved.
And Caroline, this is the second question. And does the president support the Justice Department's request for just 1 day in jail for the officer convicted in Breonna Taylor's killing? And what message does he believe that sends to her family and to other families seeking justice in cases of police violence?
I haven't talked to the president about that case. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no comment on black people being shot by cops, of course, right? She may as well have just said, sons of bitches, right? We're going to get them all kicked out of the NFL, but they're not in the NFL, they're Caroline.
Just
the president, when the president met the interim president of Syria a couple of months ago, he described him as a young.
𝗙𝗪𝗏, the late Unabomber, he said that 𝗙ន់_Ski was not under Trump.
Oh, the Unabomber shit.
I will teach at MIT. He will do it.
Oh, here we go.
Ted Kaczynski was not identified, and 𝗙EDOR.
He's giving them a real chance to do that, and he wants to see that through.
Watch this
Andrew,
one.
Go ahead.
So on Tuesday, the president told a very detailed story about his uncle, noted scientist John Trump, and Theodore Kaczynski, the late Unabomber. He said that Dr. Trump taught Ted Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski was not identified as the Unabomber until 1996, 11 years after John Trump passed away. It would have been impossible for John Trump to...
Dude, 11 years after he's dead, bro?
...ever discussed the Unabomber with the president. So what was he talking about? And I have one follow-up.
Andrew, with so many issues going on in the world, I'm a little bit surprised you would ask such a question.
Oh yeah, with so many issues going on in the world, you're surprised that we would ask why the president isn't fucking honest? And why he makes up phony stories? Like, if we're supposed to believe the president that about Epstein and about all his other shit when he says he's got us record investment in America, but he's walking around telling a whole bunch of fake fucking stories, that's a problem there. Caroline, you fucking dumbass. Now you're going to try to shame the reporter?
The president. So what was he talking about? And I have one follow-up.
Andrew, with so many issues going on in the world, I'm a little bit surprised you would ask such a question, although I'm not sometimes coming from you, I will say, but I'm willing to give you an answer. Nevertheless, the president's uncle did, in fact, teach at MIT. He was a very intelligent professor. The president's very proud of his family. In fact, the president has a letter from his uncle on the MIT letterhead that sits in the Oval Office dining room. Maybe we'll let you see it sometime. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Oh yeah, so he taught somewhere where the Unabomber didn't go to college. Okay, great. Great, thank you, Caroline. Appreciate that.
Elizabeth,
will the president consider pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell if the Epstein case is a hoax?
Okay, I'll start off with the president said last week he would not be getting involved in the New York City mayoral case. If that mayoral race, if that's still the case, given his history drawing a large crowd in New York City, what's his reason for staying out of it in that way?
Well, look, I think the president reserves the right to get involved in races or not get involved in races, and he's made the decision not to weigh in on the New York mayoral race, as you rightly pointed out, although he has gone as far to say he absolutely does not want to see 𝗙𝗪𝗏 elected.
𝗙𝗪𝗏.
Who is a known communist who supports the...
𝗙𝗪𝗏. Dude, 𝗙𝗪𝗏?
Abolishment of private property, the defunding of police. He has made very well-known anti-Semitic statements. It would be a disaster for New York and for this country. And I think it's quite telling that this individual, a known
Dude, who the fuck is 𝗙𝗪𝗏? You dumb bitch.
Communist has been spending time in Washington this week meeting
a known communist. Oh, look out. Oh.
Of police. He has made very well-known anti-Semitic statements.
No, he
would
hasn't.
be a disaster for New York and for this country. And I think it's quite telling that this individual, a known communist, has been spending time in Washington this week meeting with leaders on Capitol Hill. This is truly where the Democrat Party is headed.
Dude, look at her, a known the Democrat Party. It's the Democratic Party, you bitch.
Clearly, they learned nothing from November 5th in the president's overwhelming victory.
Yeah, well, overwhelming 1.4% victory, dude. What a fucking clown show. All right, dude, I know we could watch. We got to dance, though. The fucking people have spoken. The people paid for a dance. I want to fucking dance. Are you ready? Dude, 𝗙𝗪𝗏, this one goes out to my bro 𝗙𝗪𝗏 out in New York. Okay? Let's get fucking... Let me get the music queued up. We're gonna dance to our usual song, that lovely song by the Swedish artist. You're going to bed? You're going to miss the dance? All right. Love you. You watch it on your phone. Love you, babe. Let's go. Yeah, she sees me dance all the time. Now we dance. You ready? This one goes out to Obama Zemdani Biden. Obama Biden Zemdani. Dude, right? It's my new guy. It's my new fucking political friend is Obama Biden Zemdani. Double tug. Dude, Biden. Oh my God. Obama Biden. Zemdamni. Zamboni. Yo, Zamboni, I hear you're running for mayor. Dude, I'm voting for that Zamboni guy for mayor. For mayor of the hockey rink, dude. Dude, Zamboni for mayor. All right, you ready? Let's go, baby. Whoa, let's get it. So tired. Oh shit. Oh man. Dude, yeah, no, I was thinking about Anna on that podcast. What's the 𝗻𝗙𝗍𝗍 8 minutes on Epstein? Oh, I'm intrigued by that. Dude, that shit'll get your heart rate up there. Let's go. Oh, fuck. I think we have time for both of those. I think we have time for 𝗻𝗍𝗍's 8 minutes on Epstein and Anna on that right-wing podcast. She was only on like the first 20 minutes. Oh, used to dance until you were dripping with sweat. Let's go. Yeah, no, I used to dance a lot. right? All right, yeah, we'll fucking take that link. We'll fucking put that in there. Yeah, no, nice. On 𝗙će, let's go. We'll look at that. I love Mehdi Hasan. So what I will say is this. I've always been a big fan of dancing. It's like, there used to be a club in Portland when I first moved here 25 years ago that was called 𝗚, and it was open until like 4 in the morning or 5 a.m. It was like an after hours club. And so I used to go there a lot. After the bar I worked at would close, like 2:30, we would go to fucking 𝗚, right? Play some idols. Yeah, I can't. Because of the way YouTube is with copyright, we can. I have to play copyright capable music. Cenk Uygur. Dude, Cenk Uygur, baby. Yeah, dude, 𝗚 was great. I mean, there were a lot of times where, like, I don't know, dude, I just like moving my body to music. There was like one night where nobody wanted to dance with me. Dude, let's go, Brutus. Thank you. Nobody wanted to dance with me, so I like tied my shirt around my head and I was like dancing with my fucking shirt sleeve, right? Right? The shirt sleeve was moving and I was dancing with my fucking dangling shirt sleeve. That was one of my great fucking dance memories. You're on aspirin therapy? Yeah, you don't have the Trump shit? You're saying the Unabomber story is Epstein's? All right. Sounds legit. Dude, all right, you ready? So yeah, let's start with Mehdi Hasan's, and then we'll finish with Anna. Anna's thing is in this podcast right here. Okay, this is a right-wing woman, 𝗙𝗙𝗪𝗚, I guess. All right. Right, she is a right-wing podcaster. She's all fucking hanging out with Benny fucking Johnson and shit. Dude, some fucking bullshit right-wing fucking podcast. After party with 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗚. Dude, fucking bullshit party with fucking some fucking rando. Right? Rando after party Emily. Let's go look at her. All right. Oh, look at this. Anna Kasparian's attacking Mamdani. She's attacking Zemdani. Emily is the right. Oh, is she really? Oh, I didn't know that. So that makes sense, right? Emily is like, she's on Crystal Ball show. Got it. One of them. Dude, she's not the Emma Vigeland, because Emma's like really cute. And Emily, no offense, you're not cute. Sorry, Emily. Not cute. There we go. Dude, you heard her talking shit about Zoran? Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me. Right? Like, you know, we know that fucking... Can I just show you guys something? Hold on, let me just show you guys something. Because today was crazy. Okay? Because today I fell asleep. And so I didn't put out my 6 a.m. video. And I was kind of freaking out by it. Because I was like, oh shit, I fucking missed my video that was supposed to go out. But then what ended up happening was shit fucking blew up, right? A video from 3 days ago, the Predator Trump video, fucking blew up, guys. Look at this shit. Let me show you a fucking curve. And it's still going too. But the Trump being a predator for 11 brutal minutes, that shit just fucking like went through the roof. Hold on. This is what you want to see from a YouTube curve. Now I'm going to go back and redo my thumbnails. I'm about to change thumbnail styles due to suggestion of Brian Tyler Cohen. I think he's going to help me like get a more mainstream audience. That's what he wants me to do. He wants me to build like a much wider audience. But look at this shit, bro. Look at this fucking curve, dude. Look at that shit, right? This thing was basically done. 8,000 views as of Thursday, right? I put it out on Tuesday, I put it out on Tuesday night. Okay, by Thursday night, all right, by Thursday morning, it had like 8,000 views, and then look at what happened today, dude. Fucking, right? It's gotten like, 24,000 views in like 12 hours. Dude, isn't that nuts? Bro, that shit is banging, dude. That's the curve you want to see, dude, when it starts going like this. And it's starting to turn a little bit, but I think it's going to keep going for a bit. But yeah, no, that's good. This is the biggest video I've had in a while. Like content was banging right after the inauguration. Content was going nuts for a while, but then it kind of slowed down. The last couple months have been a little hard, right? Yeah, no, that was fucking good shit, bro. Good shit. We love to see it. That's why I only made one video today. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go to the movies. I'm going to hang out with my family. I'm going to just chill now that this shit's going on. I did one video, one short, and said, yeah, I'm going to fucking take the rest of the day off. All right, you ready? Let's watch fucking Hassan here. மெஹ்தி Hassan. Let's watch what he's got going. All right. If you guys don't know him, he's amazing. He used to have a network show. He got booted for comments he made about like pro-Palestine and critical of Israel. He got booted. So he started 𝗙ecie𝗹𝗹𝗆, where obviously Franny is now doing work there. It's a great network. He is one of the best interviewers I think I've seen in recent times as far as somebody who holds power to a cord and doesn't let them wriggle out. You know what I'm saying? Dude, he's really good interviewer, right? And it's fucking bullshit. But all right, let's see what he's got about Epstein. This should be good.
MAGA is having a crisis of confidence, but it's not over Trump's Medicaid cuts or his mass deportation campaign. They love all of that. What they don't love is that the Trump DOJ is now denying that the late child sex offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein had any kind of quote-unquote client list, or that his death was anything other than a suicide. They're mad at Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi, accusing her of incompetence or worse, a cover-up. But how come MAGA is never mad at Trump for, being friends with Jeffrey Epstein, for all his connections to Epstein over the decade?
Interesting.
How come they never saw the writing on the wall when Trump got quite prickly and even nervous last year when he was asked on Fox about declassifying a certain set of files?
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would
I
you,
did. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
Yeah, you see that? I guess I would. Dude, he got real hedgy. Dude, I made a video about this last summer. It was like, dude, what the fuck is that? How does everybody ignore that? That answer right there was like so telling.
But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
I don't know about Epstein as much as I do the others.
Huh.
Are you kidding me? Trump knows Epstein better than most people on planet Earth. So while MAGA may be obsessed with Pam Bondi and before her, the Clintons, we here at 𝗙ecie𝗹𝗹𝗆 have got you covered when it comes to Trump and Epstein. Everything you need to know about these two best buddies going back almost 40 years. So here we go. Let's start in 1987. That's when Epstein and Trump's friendship begins.
Dude, that's the year I graduated from high school and started UCLA, was in 1987.
At least that's what Trump told New York Magazine in 2002. By 1990, the two men have officially become neighbors after Epstein buys a mansion in Palm Beach, just 1 mile away from Trump's Mar-a-Lago. According to Roger Stone, Trump once said that Epstein's pool was filled with young girls when he visited, telling Stone that it was nice to see Epstein let the neighborhood kids use his pool. The neighborhood kids. In 1992, Epstein and Trump...
Dude, that is so telling that he goes to Epstein's house and all the neighborhood kids are using the pool. Yikes, dude. Oh my God, dude. Jesus. Jesus.
Film partying together at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club with cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and chatting about the women around them. That same year, Trump hosted an even more exclusive party at Mar-a-Lago for a, quote, calendar girl competition with just him, Epstein, and almost 30 women. Between 1993 and 1997...
Dude, think about that. Hold on. Chat just fucking overloaded. We gotta fucking... Sometimes the YouTube chat burns out. I gotta reset. Think about that, guys. Right there. Is that insane or is that insane? Donald Trump, okay, I feel like this is one of the most telling things about their relationship. He had a private party for him and Jeffrey Epstein and 28 women. Now, you don't do that with some random fucking stranger. You don't do that with an acquaintance. Okay, let's go back and look at that again, right? And there was a news article written about it in Vanity Fair. All right, just him and Epstein and 28 girls. That is like real fucking personal, you know, real personal, dude. Real personal.
With cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and chatting about the women around them. That same year, Trump hosted an even more exclusive party at Mar-a-Lago for a, quote, calendar girl competition with just him, Epstein, and almost 30 women. Between 1993 and 1997, Trump flies on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet at least 7 times. 7 times, according to flight logs released by Trump's own AG, Pam Bondi, earlier this year. Now we come to the year 2000, a big year for the dynamic duo. Trump and Epstein are pictured together at Mar-a-Lago along with Melania, prior to her becoming Trump's third wife.
Dude, look at how much fucking cocaine is she on, dude, in this picture. And, I mean, not that I have anything wrong with it. Dude, I did a lot of fucking cocaine. It was my go-to. But, oh, dude, she looks lit, boss. Melania! Oh, shit. She's probably getting the good shit, getting that Colombian shit.
And Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's sidekick, who would later be convicted for child sex trafficking. 2000 was also the year that one of Epstein's most prominent victims, the late Virginia Giuffre, was allegedly recruited into Epstein and Maxwell's sex ring while she was working as a locker room attendant at
Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Think about that guy. Guys, right? Think about that right there. Virginia Giuffre, she's the woman who just committed suicide. She was one of the main women that came out were Virginia Giuffre and Sarah Ransom, who will probably be mentioned. There were a couple others that were like critical point people. But Virginia Giuffre was recruited at Mar-a-Lago. She worked for Donald Trump. Guys, that's how Epstein and Maxwell met her. Is it Giuffre? Giuffre? It's pronounced with a D instead of with a G. That's really weird. But I know, Sam. That's really sad. Is it Giuffre? That's a weird fucking way to pronounce it. All right.
Giuffre was allegedly recruited.
See, he's
into
saying
one of Epstein's
Giuffre.
most prominent to be convicted for child sex trafficking. 2000 was also the year that one of Epstein's most prominent victims, the late Virginia Giuffre, was
Virginia Giuffre. Okay, I got it. All right. So Virginia Giuffre, she worked at Mar-a-Lago. That's where she got recruited. So like they were regulars there. Right? She was a fucking, isn't that crazy? Giuffre? All right.
Recruited into Epstein and Maxwell's sex ring while she was working as a locker room attendant at, wait for it, Mar-a-Lago. That same year, reporter Michael Corcoran of Maximum Golf magazine documents Trump greeting Epstein, Maxwell, and a young woman accompanying them as they board onto Trump's private jet along with Trump's family for a trip to Mar-a-Lago.
Yikes.
Trump supporters like to claim that their man had no idea about Epstein's pedophilia. And yet in 2002, in that interview with New York Magazine, Trump describes Epstein as a lot of fun and liking beautiful women almost as much as he did, specifically those, Trump says, on the, quote, younger side. Come 2004, though, Trump and Epstein have a major falling out after going to war over the purchase of a Palm Beach property. Trump ultimately won that battle, selling it off a few years later. Now, in 2008, Epstein is finally convicted for soliciting minors for prostitution, making him an official sex offender. only he's granted a non-prosecution agreement signed off on by the U.S. Attorney for
There he
Southern
is.
Florida, 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗍𝗀, who Trump would later hire as his labor secretary. This allowed Epstein to plead guilty to only state, not federal charges, and avoid a possible life sentence.
Ah, so that's how he got out of the federal charges, guys, was because of Acosta. They let him off of the federal trafficking charges. They gave him immunity in federal court, and then he pled guilty to a state charge of soliciting with a prostitute. He became a sex offender registered, and he went to jail for 13 months, but he had 12 hours of work release 6 days a week. So 6 days a week, he was only sleeping in the jail, and then 1 day a week, he actually stayed in the jail.
In 2015, 𝗙ecie publishes Epstein's infamous Black Book, which Epstein reportedly used to keep track of all his friends and associates. Not only is Donald Trump listed in it, but so is his former wife, Ivana, his current wife, Melania, and his daughter, Ivanka.
Oh, shit.
2019, Epstein is arrested by the FBI on sex trafficking charges. He's accused of sexually abusing dozens of underage girls. A month later, after being denied bail, Epstein is found dead in his jail cell after dying by suicide. Epstein's death then kickstarts a wave of conspiracy theories, many of which Trump either fuels or refuses to deny.
Do you really think the Clintons are involved in Jeffrey Epstein's death? I have no idea. I know he was on his plane 27 times, and he said he was on the plane 4 times. But when they checked the plane log, Bill Clinton, who is a very good friend of Epstein, he was on the plane about 27 or 28 times. So why did he say 4 times?
Now, of course, Trump supporters would say I'm being a bit too hard on him, that he was just asking questions.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I have a question. If someone did manage to kill Epstein while he was in a federal prison, wouldn't it have been more likely to be someone with a bit more power than a former president, like Bill Clinton? Maybe someone like the guy who was actually president in 2019 when Epstein died. I mean, I'm just asking questions. 2020, Trump sends well wishes to Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell,
wish her well.
Asked him about her being on trial. According to journalist and Trump biographer Michael Wolff, Trump considered pardoning Maxwell because he worried about what she might say at her trial.
Ah, interesting. He considered pardoning, right, her because he was worried. How to pronounce it? All right, let's go. We'll put that up there. We're going to listen.
Welcome to this pronunciation. Today's word. 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗍.
𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗍. All right, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗍. Let's go. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗍. Thank you. Thank you, Bradshaw.
4 years later, in 2024, just days before the election, Michael Wolff releases a series of audio recordings from interviews he did with Epstein in 2017. Listen to what Epstein says about his friendship with Trump.
So how do you know this?
That was closest friend.
Not only was he apparently his closest friend, but here's the big one. In June 2025, in the midst of their bitter feud, billionaire and former Trump ally and donor Elon Musk tweets, "Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files."
Yeah, he
now,
is.
Musk has since deleted that tweet. Maybe he realized it doesn't look great to have funded someone you claim was associated with a pedophile.
Yeah, he funded this asshole. Like, what? Musk, what a dick, dude. No forgiveness for Elon. None. No forgiveness.
But still, Musk made this huge accusation about Trump. And then we all just moved on from it. We're only now talking about Epstein again because Trump's bumbling AG, after claiming in February that the Epstein client list was sitting on her desk, is now saying that list apparently doesn't even exist. And yet Trump, earlier this month, rushed to her defense and insisted we go back to not talking about his old pal, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein.
The president should actually count himself lucky that the media and MAGA are only asking Bondi questions about Epstein, because the real person who should be answering questions about Epstein and his own decades-long
Donald
friendship and
J. Trump
association with a man described by a judge as the most infamous pedophile in American history and who died mysteriously in federal prison during his presidency is Donald Trump.
That's right. Donald J. Trump, motherfuckers. Oh, shit. Dude, yeah, no, Elon saying it was absolutely telling. But he should fucking dump the truth. I mean, we know, dude, we know fucking Elon's in that shit. Okay, we do. We know that Elon is in that shit, bro. We know it. We know it. We know it. Okay. So I guess we're gonna watch the actual fucking. Right, this is the actual one. Anna's on in the beginning. I was fucking skipping around. Oh, it had a bar that I thought it had categories. The one I was skipping around on had fucking categories marked that said like the establishment and shit. What video was that? Did they remove the categories? There's no way. Was it down here?
As they were before without, I don't know, maybe actually even being...
Oh, fuck, I thought it had the categories. Oh, I'm fucking imagining shit. Dude, I'm imagining shit, bro. I could have swore it had categories. Maybe that was, oh no, maybe that was the one where Anna was talking to that right-wing guy. Yeah, no, it was the other one, Natalie. It was the one where she was talking to that guy with like 2,000 subs. The fucking bearded weirdo. Remember the bearded guy we watched a little bit the other day? Dude, Evil Eye, take care. Yeah, no, go get some rest. We got like 20 minutes of this, and then I gotta go fucking make some videos. All right? But yeah, we'll keep an eye out for you. Let's go. Give you a wave. Fucking sleep tight. Don't let the fucking Epstein bugs bite. All right, you ready? Let's see what we got here with Anna.
Welcome to After Party, friends. Thanks for being here. It's 10 p.m.
Dude, the vibes though, dude. Good music, not good vibes.
I'm on a Wednesday, so you know where you need.
Hey, welcome. Yeah, the music's great on the intro, but like, dude, it's setting it up. This ain't fucking rock and roll. You know what I'm saying?
Right here at After Party. As a reminder, we
After
are here
Party.
on Mondays.
Let's fucking go look at Benny Johnson's vagina. Thank you, Benny Johnson, for showing us your mangina. You fuckers.
Live at 10 p.m. You can, of course, catch up with the show afterwards
live
on podcast platforms and YouTube. And if you throw us a subscribe, that's always so helpful. Tonight's show is an exciting one. We are joined first by 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗀, who is the executive producer and host of The Young Turks. We are also joined by my friend.
Oh, yeah, no, we do have to watch that Rogan clip. He's on the docket. Okay, he's on the docket. I had that fucking clip. We're finishing with that, too. All right, we're going to comment on that. So we're going to just watch.
Duffy. We're going to start to talk with Anna about some very interesting news as well. Going on 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗶𝗍 playing host, executive producer, the imminent threat to NPR and PBS.
Dude, this woman, like, I don't know, I don't like her energy, bro. Dude, her energy is like, I don't like it. All right.
So 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗶𝗍, host, executive producer of The Young Turks. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Emily. I'm a big fan of your work, and I'm super excited for your new show. Congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you. That's certainly mutual. And I want to start actually with because you're really the perfect person.
Let's just jump right in. The Democratic Party's terrible. Do you hate Obama Biden? Yes, I hate Obama Biden. Anna Kasparian, do you like black people? No. All right, Anna. Or do the homeless cook drugs? Yes, all day long. Oh, they fucking grab my hips. Oh, I fucking hate Gavin Newsom. Anna, would you rub one out if Gavin Newsom won the presidential nomination? No, I'd fucking move to fucking Singapore and go hang out with Ian Miles Cheong. All right, interview's over, Obama Biden. There you go. That's the fucking interview. That's it. Thank you. That was really searing stuff. Dude, oh my God, dude.
Person to talk to you about this. You've been in left media spaces for a long time and have been sort of feasting on the Democrats' ability or lack thereof to really recapture some of these cultural institutions. The podcast space is one really good example of this. And we can put F1 on the screen. This is really true. It was reported in Semaphore that the Jamie Harrison podcast, At Our Table, Jamie Harrison, obviously, formerly the head of the DNC. This is Dem's answer to losing Joe Rogan. That's how.
Dude, please. Dude, this Like, what is she talking about? See, this is the shit that I have propaganda. Nobody anywhere in the fucking world thinks Jamie Harrison's fucking podcast is like a substitute for Joe Rogan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at our table, I didn't even know this podcast exists. Like, nobody thinks that. And the fact that you're presenting that this is like Joe Rogan, like, yo, what's your fucking name, Emily? Hey, Emily, how about this? How about you go suck a fuck, okay? And then you go sniff fucking Benny Johnson's mangina. And then you come back to us with some real fucking information, okay? Nobody fucking cares about Jamie Harrison's fucking podcast. The people care about it as little as they care about your fucking podcast, Emily. And I will go out on the record. You ready? Because you ready? Watch this. Hold on. I made a video about the Democrats wanting to fucking the Joe Rogan thing, but my video title says it all. Let me show you the video. Hold on. Let me find it. Okay. Here we go. I made a video about that whole like Joe Rogan thing. And it's right here. Hold on. Let me find it. Right here. You ready? Look at this. It says right here, dude. Right? There's the video right there. You see the thumbnail? It says, fuck Joe Rogan. And it says, Dems want a Joe Rogan, but this one fucking sucks. There you go. That's it. Dude, that's the video right there. And I think it says it all. You ready? Dems want a Joe Rogan, but this one fucking sucks. No, we don't want a Joe Rogan. That's nonsense. You know what? Sure, you'd like to have a platform that fucking has like millions of subscribers and shit. But like, dude, Joe Rogan, I don't think we even really want a Joe Rogan. Okay? Because Joe Rogan is a fucking grifter who will literally, he will bend to whatever side throws him some change, bro. But yeah, this is some bullshit.
How Dave Weigel put it in semaphore, we can put F2 on the screen. And
yeah, Dave Weigel, right? Dave Weigel. Okay, thank you, Dave Weigel. Former cheers tries to become the left's Joe Rogan. Dude, please.
To make matters even more satirical, if you were trying to like rip this from the pages of satire, Jamie Harrison is saying of Hunter Biden, that a lot of people don't know how smart he is, don't know his background, don't know the stuff that he's worked on. They only know what either his allies or his enemies have put out there, and he's been defined by that. So, and I have to ask you, on its face, it seems ridiculous that Jamie Harrison is the answer to this, that anybody thinks that's a good answer to this. But secondly, that they think the right first guest is a sort of uncritical treatment of Hunter Biden. What did you make of the news today?
Well, let me just first say, I think it's pretty funny how people in political spaces who have no experience in broadcasting at all think it's like not a big deal to just like launch a podcast. Of course. Right. I mean, I might be the most uncharismatic, uninteresting person on the planet, but who cares? Anyone can do it.
I know, like even Emma and Lindy Lee are on a podcast with that Amy Dangerfield, right? Remember? Right? We know Amy Dangerfield is the dumbest, most least interesting person. It sounds like fucking Anna's describing this chick and the Her Take cast, doesn't it? Like, yeah, really, that's what PBD did with the Her Take podcast. He put some of the least interesting, brain dead fucking women on the planet all at one table, made it look like The View, and then they interview white supremacists all day long. Yeah, and they call it a fucking podcast. Oh, thanks, Anna. And this chick, too. Like, this chick is about as fucking droll as they come. Like, please. All right.
It's just laughable to me. Look, you can't manufacture
Look at her face.
A Joe Rogan. And that's what the Democratic Party is currently trying to do with Jamie.
Dude, I'll be your fucking Joe Rogan. You want some Joe Rogan? Let's go right now. I got
Harrison,
the bald
really,
head
of
for
all
it.
people. The reason why Joe Rogan resonates with so many people, especially young men, is because he's a real person. And whether you love him or hate him, he's pretty authentic and he means what he says. Now, I might not agree with everything he says, but at least I know it's coming from a place of sincerity. He's not someone who's bought. He's not someone who can be paid.
Dude, he's not someone who's bought. I mean, he is audience captured 100%, man.
To say something he doesn't actually believe. And he's got a broad range of interests. And so that's what kind of makes his podcast as interesting as it is. I don't think that the former chair of the Democratic Party is going to resonate to the same extent that Joe Rogan does. And to your point about Hunter Biden, you know, that episode has already made some news, even though the entirety of the episode hasn't aired yet. And it's because of the fact that Hunter Biden was essentially scolding Democrats for not being, you know, sufficiently loyal to his father, who was lying to the American people about his cognitive decline. And the entirety of the Democratic establishment seemed to be in on this cover up.
Dude, they're still talking about like Joe Biden being young and dynamic. Hey, everybody, didn't you think Joe Biden was young and dynamic? I know I sure thought Joe Biden was young and dynamic. It was real obvious with him, like not being able to find his way out of the room or the way he would just get lost in the middle of speeches, right? We all thought he was young and dynamic, right? Didn't you? I thought Joe Biden was young and dynamic. In fact, that was the exact phrase I always use when I described Joe Biden, was like, yeah, Joe Biden was very young and dynamic. Although I will say he was good at the State of the Union speech. I watched it. That one was actually pretty good. Dude, he fucking was cracking, bro. He was. At the State of the Union, he owned. You know what I'm saying? He owned.
Voters don't really appreciate being lied to. And so this effort to kind of rehabilitate the Biden's image or rewrite history, I think is not going to work. And
again, I don't know why we're talking about Joe Biden. Maybe we're going to have a big fucking crazy talk about the auto pen. But let me just say this. You ready? I saw somebody say something in chat, but here's the deal. The young men, okay, the young white men who are enamored with the wife beater Dana White, and they're enamored with the woman beater and the rapist fucking Andrew Tate, okay? And they are enamored with Donald Trump, the rapist Donald Trump, and fucking woman abuser fucking Jake Paul. Those young guys, okay, those young white men who are fucking probably roofing young girls at their fraternity house at colleges across the country. The Democrats are never going to win those guys, okay? Those guys were not winnable. They used to just not vote, okay? Why? Because no policies ever affect them, okay? But those guys the Democrats are never going to win them. Fuck those guys, okay? We need to inspire everybody who's not them to show up. But there's no way we're going to reach the fucking, the women drugging frat boys who are in love with UFC, Jake Paul, Donald Trump, and Andrew Tate. Fuck those guys. Okay? We do not want to outreach to them. Fuck them. Okay? Fuck them. We will steamroll those fucking dumbasses. The rape culture guys, fuck those guys. The manosphere bros. We need to fight them. Okay, we need to fight them.
On one hand, you have members of the Democratic establishment chide Trump voters for being cult-like in their loyalty to Trump. On the other hand, in the context of this interview with Hunter Biden, basically you have this like weird commentary about like, you know, if only Democratic voters could be as loyal to their Democratic leadership as Republicans are to their leadership. No, I don't think voters should be ridiculously loyal to any politician.
Dude, you keep saying you keep saying some about 80 plus million who didn't vote. Dude, that number, I don't know where you're getting that number, but that number's not accurate. Okay, there's like, right? There's like 145 million people voted. Okay, there's like 330 million people in America, but they're not all voting age. I don't know where you're getting that number, that like 144 million. Are there 80 million registered voters that didn't vote? Is it really that many? I mean, I think it's probably less than that, right? Right? How many registered voters are there? So there were So 73%, 174 million people were registered to vote and 154 million people voted. So there were only there were only 174 million that fucking voted. Here's what we have. Here's the data we have. Okay? It looks like 174 million people were registered, 154 million people voted, and I guess that's 65% of the total like voter age population. So that would mean that roughly 1/3. So there's probably about 70 million voting age people, but they're not registered voters. So, but there were definitely at least 20 million registered voters that didn't show up to vote for whatever reason. What's the voting age population? The voting age population, there's like 70 million that are voting age, right? Or 70 some million. So it's not exactly 88. That number's way too high. It's about 70 million of voter age, but really we only have access to the registered voters. I suppose we could go out and try to get more people registered, but voting age people though, like that includes a lot of people. But yeah, just so you know, because I always thought, I saw you say that number before and it seemed a little high. I don't think we have access to that many. I think we do. I think there's probably about so there's 262 million people over 18. So that means there are about maybe, 80, I don't know, maybe 80. But even though with the 262 million over 18, that doesn't mean they're all eligible to vote. Okay, that could include undocumented people. That could include people that are in U.S., right, that are in jail. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But you're right, though. There's probably like 50 million people, I think, that we could cull from. All right, I just want to get that number fucking out there. That, because we don't know everybody who's over 18 is not necessarily eligible to vote, right? But still, we should, I agree though with your sentiment. I agree that we should be registering new voters, okay, for sure, as opposed to trying to fucking convince a bunch of like rapey frat boys to somehow like not be misogynist incel motherfuckers, okay?
In a democracy, there should be accountability, including from members of your own party.
One of the reasons I've admired your work for a long time is that when I was, growing up and like coming of age, like late teenage years, college years, I was watching a lot of Young Turks, and it reminded me sort of what I was seeing at the same time on the right, which was the Tea Party movement. You had Occupy, you had Tea Party, and on the right, some of these new Tea Party era media outlets started to spring up. And for whatever reason, I think it took national Democrats a really long time to look at what you all were doing.
See, here's the deal though, guys. You ready? I want to go out there and say this really has nothing to do with Joe Rogan, okay? At the end of the day, guys, here's the deal. Lies travel faster than the truth, okay? Lies that activate people's trigger points about fear of like their children being harmed or fear of, the bogeyman. That shit travels faster on algorithms. Hate travels faster. Let me just tell you, I got famous, guys, in 2020, 2021 playing Fortnite. Okay, let me just tell you, I got famous as shit during the pandemic playing Fortnite. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Because a huge group of people love me, but an even bigger group of people fucking hated me, guys. And believe me, that hate traveled so fast that I blew up like insanely quick, okay? Because hate and negativity travels faster in the algorithms than messages of compassion and peace do. And this is why the red pillars message travels. It's not because there's more of them. It's because the negativity travels faster. And who couldn't love me? You know what it was, Sam? They didn't like me because I was woke and because I was pink-haired and because I wasn't a Tate-sniffing dipshit, okay? But the fact of the matter is that hatred and misogyny and racism and that shit, it gets people activated. And that kind of addictive activation is what the fucking algorithms get juiced on, okay? They do. They get juiced on negativity, fucking, cancelings and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So the racists kind of have an advantage in the mediascape, okay? In the misinformation people that use emotional triggering, they have a little bit of an advantage. You're right. Victimhood is a drug, indeed. And there's, Rogan can put people out there that just lie and spread a bunch of crazy fucking conspiracy shit, and that shit will just reach. They have more reach, okay? That doesn't mean they actually, have the numbers. They just have a crazier reach.
And say, hey, there's something here. They're connecting with audiences. And that... I wonder if they're still...
See, that's just it. It's not about connecting. It's more about their instigating audiences, okay? This red pill shit instigates, okay? It's not the same as connection, okay? If you look at those guys, Andrew Tate and the incels, they don't have any connection. They just have reach, okay? Because their shit, travels in these algorithms and it instigates a reaction. But dude, they're starving for real connection. Dude, the MAGA bros, dude, they're the loneliest motherfuckers out there, bro. They're literally pouring fucking roofinol in fucking drinks and shit, bro.
Well, not doing that because, frankly, the reason that you guys resonate, and this isn't to do an apples to apples, with Young Turks and right-wing media, but it is to say the reason right-wing media resonate, I think one of the reasons you guys resonate is because you're very critical.
Dude, first off, if we look at TYT, they don't resonate, guys. They blew up in, 2008, and they farmed a lot of that anti-Obama sentiment and shit. And they did blow up 15 years ago, but they don't resonate anymore, dude. They have 6 million subscribers, and their videos get the same view count as mine do. All right, let's just look at TYT, shall we, about resonating? Let's just look here. You ready? Watch this. All right, let's go look at TYT, okay, with fucking 6 million subs. All right, 6 million.
Every day.
Let's look at their videos here, okay? What do we got? We got 20,000 views, 20,000 views. We got 20,000 views, 18, 13, 31. There's a 200, okay? 24, 32, 60, 91,000. Dude, they're not resonating for shit, okay? Their videos are getting hardly any views for 6 million subscribers, okay? You know what I'm saying? 17,000. Dude, 60,000, 100,000, 20,000. Dude, their videos aren't getting shit, bro. Now let's look at my channel. Okay, my channel has 40,000. And what do we got? We got 8,000, 8,000, 30,000, fucking 3,000, 8,000, 2,000, 6,000, 9,000. Dude, they're literally getting 5 times as many views. Okay, 5 times as many views. And they have fucking 6 million subscribers. Come on, man. Right? I don't think they're resonating. Okay. And if we look at fucking some of my more viewed shit from a couple months ago, I got videos getting as many views as those guys 2 days ago. 31,000, bro. And their shit is barely getting more than that. All right. All right. Yeah, dude, link it in the Discord, Sulfur. Throw that article in there. I'm curious about it.
Of establishment Democrats. So to me, the idea that the answer to Joe Rogan would be having a former DNC chair who is not like dishing and spilling on corruption or diving into how they totally bungled the Bernie Sanders.
See, again, though, okay, the premise of this, okay, thank you, Brutus. We're glad you guys are here. The premise of this, guys, that Jamie Harrison is somehow a Joe Rogan fucking thing is like nobody thinks that, okay? And anybody who says they believe that is full of shit. The whole premise of their little fucking show here is a lie, is that nobody with a brain anywhere thinks that fucking Jamie Harrison's podcast is going to fucking be a Rogan at all. Nobody. Like, not even these fucking morons. Not even these brain dead motherfuckers on this after party fucking bullshit.
Movement, or like getting Hunter Biden to talk in some detail about mistakes that he's made, but instead giving him this platform. And Jamie Harrison has intimated in the Semaphore interview, for example, that he agrees with Hunter Biden's analysis that, and of course he does, that, you know, had Democrats just doubled down on their loyalty to this ailing president, they would have been fine against Trump in 2024. I just can't imagine how frustrating it has to be to watch all of this play out and say, guys, you're completely missing the story, which is that voters don't trust you. This is not the way to rebuild the trust.
That's exactly right. And if you kind of back up and look at the full picture and what the actual thinking of these Democratic leaders and, you know, creatures of the Democratic establishment really think, it's this sense that the American people, their base, their voters, are really there to serve them, when in reality, these are individuals who signed up to be public servants.
Yeah, see, here's the problem. I know she's going into her Democratic establishment, and guys, I will tell you right now that surely there are people in the Democratic Party, okay, that are fucking the chairperson of the DNC or whatever, that are a little out of touch with your average voter. But let me just tell you guys, you ready, guys? Here's the problem, okay? And this is fuck 𝗙𝗪cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, fuck this Emily fucking chick, fuck Jamie Harrison, fuck everybody, you know, whatever. The difficulty is this, okay? You ready? The difficulty is that there are purple districts, okay? Pure leftism is not the only voice in the Democratic Party, okay? The Democratic Party, unlike the Republicans, where you can just be pro-white, pro-Christian, pro-Trump, fucking brain-dead motherfuckers because you live in a town that's 90% white people, you can have one ideology, okay? That's pro-white Christian, fucking gender, fucking binary bullshit, okay? And no matter who you are, as long as you're pro-white Christian, anti-immigration, anti-education, anti-everything but the Bible getting shoved up your fucking ass, okay? The Republicans have one thing that they support, okay? In the Democratic Party, you have Muslims and Christians and Jews and white people and brown people and black people and native people and gay people and trans people and straight people and fucking gender bending people, non-binary people. You have fucking every religion and creed and ideology under the sun, all crammed under one tent. So the Democratic Party can never really operate like the Republican Party because there's a zillion shades to it. So it's inherently way more complicated. And in fact, the Democratic Party has to try to message to win the left-wing strongholds of LA and New York and Seattle and Portland. And they also want to win in these purple areas in Michigan, in fucking Wisconsin, you know what I'm saying? Whereas the Republican, their whole message is like, fuck the immigrants, fuck the gay people, and fuck everybody who doesn't sniff Donald Trump's asshole. Okay, so this idea that like I feel like no matter what, the Democratic party is going to have a much more challenging time just in general, because not everybody's going to be happy. Okay, there's no fucking way. Now, we have yet to find one message that speaks to that whole diverse coalition. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a little bit more complicated. It really is. You know what I'm saying? It really is a little bit more complicated. All right. If you adjust your video quality, I'll look 20 years younger. Dude, I don't want to look younger. I want to look old, man. I'm old. I am, dude. But I get irritated because I get it. The Democratic establishment, they're not like fucking kings. But again, dude, it's complicated because the shit that wins in fucking, Wisconsin is going to look different than the shit that wins in Portland. And those are facts. That's what's so complicated about our thing. Now, that doesn't mean we can't improve, because the establishment is a little bit more concerned about politicking than they are about really serving the people. But that's like that's a capitalism thing, I think. That's not just the Democratic establishment. I mean, look at the Republicans. Dude, they'll support a fucking rapist, bro. So sorry, man. If your party will support a rapist who's a fucking liar and a crook, you got some advantages that we don't fucking have. You know what I mean? And so the problem is, though, I think, guys, we just got to get super PACs out of the primaries. Okay. And we do need to definitely have a little bit more socialism in this motherfucking country. But you're not going to get it by going on right-wing fucking podcasts. See, this is what I don't get. Okay, you ready? Here's what I don't get about the whole premise of even what they're talking. Okay, because their whole premise is, the Democratic establishment is so out of touch. But well, let me ask you, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, you're not going to get the Democratic establishment in touch by going on this dumb bitch's fucking right-wing podcast. Okay? You're not even trying to get the Democratic establishment to be more in touch when you go on this fucking stupid ass's right-wing Trump-sniffing podcast. No, you're trying to go and sabotage the Democratic Party by giving some credence to these right-wing fucking dipshit like Benny Johnson jerking off motherfuckers. Okay? You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm sorry. I have enough trouble focusing on my own career. It is not my job to build a politician's career, but that's the way they behave. They feel that we as voters owe it to them to build them up, even when they're lying to us in our faces. And so for me, I don't know if this speaks poorly of me, and I don't really care, but I have no loyalty to any politician.
Yeah, well, you know what, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀? The thing is you have no loyalty to not just politicians, because I don't think we have loyalty to politicians, but what you have, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶𝗀, is you have no loyalty to beliefs, to political beliefs, okay? Because you were fucking like defund the police 5 years ago when you thought it was cool and had some money, right? But it's not even about the politicians. You say that because that allows you to go and sniff the crack of these right-wing motherfuckers, right? And make you look like you're somehow like above the Democrats. But you have loyalty to anybody who throws you a buck. Okay, if I threw a 10 spot on the floor, you'd probably come over here and be like, oh, I like your fuck the police t-shirt, Tommy, right? You'd probably be asking me out for drinks if I fucking dangled a bag of money in front of you, even though your husband would be home fucking plunging the toilet after Cenk Uygur came over and blew that motherfucker up. Dude, I am just riffing out of control. But all right. Tone it down here. Tone it down. Yeah, dude, she does. She makes her career bashing the Democrats and going in right-wing spaces and saying, oh, those Democrats are so shitty. They're so terrible. But, what's happening right now? Why aren't you guys talking about Donald Trump raping teenage girls, right? If you really care about politics, aren't you concerned about a teenage girl rapist bestie covering up the Epstein fucking shit? You're not worried about him and his lies and his fucking regressive tariffs and all this bullshit he's doing, the fucking ICE agents wearing masks and fucking sending U.S. citizens out of the country, sending innocent people to third world prisons. No, you're going to talk about what? About the fact that some Democrats were like said some nice things about Joe Biden or some shit, or wouldn't fucking cut Joe Biden's head off. So while you were taking that poly market money, like, come on, what are you even doing?
Right. You either do things I like or you do things I don't like. And I'm going to speak out about it regardless. And
yeah, but she likes the fucking billionaire land developer, Rick Caruso, right? Why does she like him? Oh, because he's not a black woman. That's right. Anna doesn't like black women. That's very clear, dude. She doesn't like any black women, right?
For politicians that I generally like. I generally like Bernie Sanders. You know, some of what he said following October 7th in Israel, I didn't agree with. He eventually came around, but it took him a while.
Oh, she likes Bernie Sanders. Is there anyone else you like in government? She doesn't really like AOC very much, does she? Right? Who does she even like, dude? That's it? She only likes Bernie and Cenk Uyghur? Is that it?
To see what Israel was really up to in Gaza, for instance. But I'm willing to speak out about things like that, even though on the whole, I see Bernie Sanders as one of the better politicians in Congress. But if you don't have accountability, if you don't have an electorate that, doesn't consist of partisan hacks who just root for their team because it's their team, if you have voters who don't want to engage in any accountability for their own side, well,
but yet she'll fucking be nice to the MAGA voters because we gotta not piss them off, dude. She's so disingenuous, man. This is like the fakest woman around.
We're gonna find ourselves in the situation that we're currently in, if you ask me. I think election after election, we're usually
yeah, but see, here's what's crazy. She says you'll find us in the situation we're currently in, but like. This chick loves the situation we're in. This chick is a Trump sniffer, right? She's hanging out with somebody who loves this bullshit world we live in, right?
Presented with two terrible choices. And it's because if you just cheer for a team and you don't really care about anything else, I mean, you're going to create an environment of subpar politicians who are more interested in their political careers, more interested in serving their donors as opposed to serving their constituents. And we're seeing that across the board. Democrats, Republicans, they both have low approval ratings right now, and that's for good reason.
And that's the core of what was happening simultaneously, I think, during Occupy and the Tea Party movement that so many people just didn't put together. And one of the people who did was Donald Trump. He sort of heard something similar, I think, from both movements, whether it was conscious or otherwise. And Dave Weigel from Semaphore notes that his line about Joe Rogan was a joke, but to Jamie Harrison, it's not. I mean, Jamie Harrison, clearly thinks that this is some type of serious competitive product to make Democrats compete in the podcast space. In the meantime, maybe they should be actually even more introspective, which they seem to have zero interest in doing, because let's go ahead and roll this SOT of Harry Enton talking about Dems actually lagging from where they were in the 2018 midterms when they picked up seats. We can take a look
let's
here.
go, baby.
The bottom line is this. Democrats are behind their 2006 and 2018 paces when it comes to the generic congressional ballot. What are we talking about here? All right, the Democrats versus the Republicans on the generic congressional ballot, the margins. Look at where we are now.
But dude, what is there, you know what's crazy about this? Is they keep showing this, but what's Harry Enton's point here? Why are you telling this? What does this mean? This means you think the Democrats aren't going to get it together because they're not ahead enough, right? Dude, Marisol, let's go, right? You know what I mean? Dude, the two-party system sucks. It's fucking tough, dude. It is, right? But dude, this guy annoys me.
Democrats are ahead, but by just 2 points. Look at where Democrats were already ahead by in 2017. They were behind by 7 points. How about 2005 on the generic congressional ballot? Ahead by 7 points, ahead by 7 points. And now they're only ahead by 2 points. Their lead is less than half.
Oh my God, Harry. Oh shit. Yeah, because everybody's fucking pissed, bro. But like, dude, that doesn't mean anything, right? Yeah, wait until the fucking tariffs hit. Wait until more trouble, more chaos. We're just hitting the Epstein. Like, come on, right? Like, what's your fucking point, Harry? How about you shut the fuck up, right? But, you know, maybe we need to hear this and maybe we need to get our shit together. I mean, we definitely on the left, we need to be more coalition. But you know what's hard though, guys, is like Anna's supposedly on the left, but she's out there fucking stirring this pot. She's out there hanging with all the right wingers, just trying to make sure this number stays low, right? These guys are all fucking
Where it was in either
cock-knockers.
2017 or 2005, in July of those years, the year before the midterm election, yes, Donald Trump may be unpopular, but Democrats have not come anywhere close to sealing the deal at this particular point.
You know, here in Washington, D.C., you could practically sense the giddiness among Democrats when Donald Trump and Republicans passed the, quote, one big, beautiful bill, because it did pay for tax cuts to the rich, partially by cuts to Medicaid. And Democrats saw that as a significant political gift and all kinds of other sort of things that were stuffed in it as political gifts. So what explains these numbers as of right now?
Well, I think that Democrats aren't enjoying high approval ratings yet because enough time hasn't passed where voters forget about the pretty gross games that were played by the DNC, the Biden campaign.
Dude, everybody's just mad that we have to suffer through Trump. Let's be honest, okay? Are people mad at that Joe Biden ran? Of course. Are we mad that he didn't drop out like he said he was going to do so we could have a primary? Are we mad that racism and misogyny fucked Kamala Harris over and Elon gave Trump $280 million? Yes. But you know what else is really going on? I think a huge portion of America is just, we're aghast that people voted for Trump. We are genuinely shocked when we look out and see our fellow Americans that they voted for this lying, degenerate, rapist, racist, fucking piece of fucking human shit. And they voted for him after an insurrection, after Epstein, after making fun of the disabled, calling immigrants fucking shit, using the Hitler speak, threatening to fucking jail them, having a secret Gestapo police force, and Americans are cheering this shit. We're disgusted. We want to ship those Americans out. We want to secede. We don't want to be in this country anymore. We don't want to unify with those dirty, degenerate motherfuckers. We all want to literally just secede and have our own country and be like, fuck you, red states. Let Florida and Texas pay for your welfare fucking asses, right? It's not even about the Democrats at this anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not the Democrats. It's literally a disgust for the 77 million Americans who actually voted for this degenerate king wannabe motherfucker. Like, fuck you guys. Fuck you, you redneck MAGA shitheads. Fuck you. We just want you gone. We don't even want to civil war you, because why force you to be normal human beings? Like, fuck you. I'd rather not force you to be a compassionate human being and let you just go be a degenerate piece of shit who can genital check your own kind, right? You can all move in together and look at each other's peepees before you use the bathroom, right? Enjoy it and tell yourselves you're not gay, right? Have at it. Just look in everyone's underpants, okay? We'll go over here and actually have health care and fucking nice shit. You know, and you guys can just sit there and fucking look at each other's genitalia. You know, it's like true, man. We're literally, yeah, I think aghast is a good word. We are just beside ourselves that people actually voted for that fucking piece of shit. And here we are. Now we have to endure this shit and watch you guys tell us everything's great while Trump just reduces the country to an ineffective, degenerate laughingstock. And all of us, except the richest among us, get fucked right in the ass, okay? And then after we clean it all up, years later, you will fucking hate us for it. You know what I'm saying? We're paying for all their shit, too. That's what it is.
All of that leading up to the 2024 presidential election. But what the whole of the Democratic Party seems to have done so far in Trump's second term is take James Carville's advice to heart. And his advice was play dead, do nothing, just let the Trump administration hang itself. Which, look, if all you care about is allowing the pendulum swing to go from Trump right back to ineffective, pathetic Democrats, okay, great. I guess we have that to look forward to. I don't really care about that, though. I don't care about Democrats winning. I care about the right Democrats winning. Democrats.
See, here's the thing, though, about Anna shit when she says she cares about the right Democrats winning. Like, Anna, why don't you run for office then? If you seem to know what the right Democrats are, you know who needs to win and what needs to happen, you fucking idiot. Dude, this girl right here, she is like tied with Mike Johnson for the most, like, look at her face, bro. It's like hard to look at, boss. I mean, I don't want to be judgmental, but this chick right here is like, it's hard to look at her, dude. She just is like, yikes, man. You know what I mean? But why don't you run, Anna? Right? You think your fucking platform is so popular.
Democrats that actually stand for something, want to fight for their constituents, and, you know, engage in necessary reforms. And if
now, I agree with the wanting to fight, and this is part of why I feel like the trans rights shit needs to become central, because Anna will say, oh, they should fight for their constituents, but then Anna will be the first person to throw the marginalized people right under the fucking bus, man. Instantaneously, she will.
This omnibus bill, yeah, you're right, is actually pretty unpopular with the electorate. Polling indicates that most people are not in favor of losing, you know, funding to Medicaid and SNAP food assistance.
All right. But anyway, guys, I feel like that diatribe that I just had is going to be central to the video I'm going to make. I do have to go make some videos, okay? It is 2 a.m. I certainly try to get off at 1:30 or 2. I can't go beyond 2 because I have to try and get a couple videos done by 7 and 8 in the morning so I can get a little bit of sleep, right? Too harsh? What's too harsh? Right? Sam, what's too harsh? Are you wondering about the comment I deleted earlier on? Or, right? Oh, the Rogan clip is 4 minutes. Yeah, I think I'm going to save the Rogan clip for tomorrow, though, because I don't think I'll be able to make it into a piece of content. Oh, what you just said? No. Oh, if you're talking about the comment I deleted, it wasn't even that it was like harsh. You may have noticed I use the term cock knockers because I do love using the word cock in a slam, but I don't use the word that like denigrates people who like to give blowjobs, right? My dad used to use that word, but right, the whole, right? Oh, no. You were applauding me judging her. I'm talking about the comment of yours that I deleted way back. I guess I'm talking about something else. But yeah, no, I'm going to judge her. I'm too judgmental. I am. I shouldn't be judgmental, but I am judgmental and harsh. And I apologize. But I don't like when people use like dick sucking as though it's a denigrating term. I remove that because I think there's nothing wrong with sucking some dick. You know what I'm saying? It's not I don't use that as like a denigrating phrase, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not into it. Yeah, no, you didn't cross a line. It's just a phrase that my dad used to use that I saw, right? That I fucking zipped out, right? I don't think you even noticed I deleted it, right? I fucking, it's not a big deal, but you know, it's not you. I think it's a lot of like, as guys, we're sort of ingrained to do it, right? You know, something happens and we're like, suck my dick. But like, there's something about that, right? Dude, like filleting. I just like to use it. Like my thing is I don't like to use the idea of like, you know, things that could be somewhat homophobic, right? I get called out sometimes too, right? Like even with when I called Trump a fat fuck, right? Right? Remember, I called him a fat fuck. And Jenny, though, would be like, you know, there are people that are overweight. There's nothing wrong with being overweight. So, like, you don't want to call people fat fucks, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I know. No, we know exactly what Sam meant. And he didn't mean anything by it. But my thing is I'm just trying to bring some awareness to some of the shit that we don't mean anything by it, right? Like when I called Trump a fat fuck, right? I don't mean anything by it and don't mean to judge people, but I have been fucking propagandized to make fun of somebody's weight and not see that somebody who's heavy could hear that as like an insult, right? And so, yes, so I will say shit like they're cock knockers instead of cock, you know what I'm saying? Although I will also sometimes, conditioned is the word, I will sometimes fillet the mic though too, right? So it's complicated, right? But anyway, I know you didn't mean anything by it, and I get that, but I like to have these discussions because I like to, I'm trying to distance myself from my conditioning. And my dad used to use that cock, word all the time. He used to call people that all the time. And so it was like a normal thing that a lot of people do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to, deconstruction does take a while. And so we're all not perfect, right? I sometimes say shit that's slightly fucking homophobic as well. And I try to speak out about it when I do it, right? Because I defending the LGBTQ, I feel is paramount, right? Because I've watched them my whole life, guys. You don't understand. I watched the gay people get shredded when I was a fucking kid. I watched them die of AIDS because Reagan was like, fuck them. And then I watched that same grief after I thought we won and gay marriage was legal. Now I'm watching our trans brothers and sisters go through the same shit. And it's goddamn, bro. No, you're fucking Riley Gaines. Fuck you. I am not going to let you silently do that same bullshit and try to erase fucking transgender people, right? And Lupe, I get it. I know you're probably you don't fucking care. You're over it. But yeah, Shank Uyghur, fuck that guy, dude. All right. Anyway, though, I do have to hit edit mode. I got to go. Time's up. Time's up. It's time for me to hit edit mode and to bring some music from 2002 from my band Number 3 Breakdown. Here we go. It's a song called Radiant. But we are going to have these discussions sometimes, right? That's just the way it goes.
I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around. I'd rather be found. It gets better.
It's a good song.
I wonder.
I like this song.
Pleasure together.
Everyone's waiting, anticipating. So I take the head off. So the hat thing is two things, right? Let me just explain. I'm going to pause the music while I say about the hat. So one, I take the hat off to edit because I wear noise canceling headphones, not these, because I like to edit in a space where I can't hear any outside world. Okay. And so that's one. And no, Sam, you're fine, dude. Don't even worry about it. And then two, okay, the other thing, the reason why I take the hat off is because I have a really high hairline. And so I like to spend time every stream without a hat because I think it's important, right? With I love the baseball hat with the long hair, but we as men, if we have a receding hairline or if we're balding, a lot of us feel like we have to wear hats to hide that shit. So I do like to spend a little time somewhere every stream, not with a hat on, so I can just embrace my fucking balding head. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I think is important. And when I cut my hair short, I probably won't even wear hats as much because I'm going to get my hair cut soon. And then I probably won't wear the hats as much because I don't think the hats look as good with short hair. I think they look better with long hair. That's just a personal thing, but the long hair, I'm getting over it. But so yeah, that too. There you go. All right. And Sam, you're good.
I would never
see you guys tomorrow. Keep it real, baby. Good night.
I just want to change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. It's about you. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over.